There he is, right on cue. Yo, YouTube. Welcome to another live with Charlie Goat. And we have a special guest tonight. Do you want to introduce yourself?
We do have a special guest tonight. Some of you may have seen this young man at some card shows with me. This is my oldest son, Creed, sitting in for a little bit tonight.
Hello.
Welcome, Creed. Glad to have you join us on the show.
Yeah.
I do not have any family members or friends with me this evening. My wife and daughter are catching up on some YouTubers that they watch tonight. That's generally what they do on Wednesday nights. They have a bunch of like home reno and decorating shows and things like that they're into, and
Sure.
they kind of catch those on the night when I'm on YouTube. So you'd think they'd watch my show, but you know. What's that?
I said when you're not in the way, they got to catch up on their shows.
Right, exactly. I guess, turnabout's fair play, right?
Right.
But I kind of do the same thing without them. That's how it is. So we've got Scott Fiscus. I always want to say ficus. I don't know why. Like the plant, right? Anyway, we got Scott on here. He says good evening. Tom has joined us. Hi, Tom. Good evening. Everyone and the Stu. Stu gets a special shout out, of course.
He does, yeah.
As he has earned it. So one thing that I was talking to my spouse about the other night was some things that I want to do to expand the business next year. And one of the things that came up was doing some merchandise for the Stu Man, getting some goat shirts and whatnot. So,
oh yeah,
I don't know. We need some feedback on that. I want to know if anybody'd even be interested in those, because I think it would be something that would be pretty fun.
Stu emerging out of the rabbit goat hole.
Yes.
Yep, the rabbit goat hole. He has to come out once in a while. So trying to pull up the live on my YouTube, and that's not loading. So I'm gonna try to do it on my phone. All right, so where do we want to start? I think we could talk a little bit about maybe this fire I lit today about non-sports versus sports cards. I think, Charlie, you're kind of on the same page with me on this one.
Heck yeah. Like I think non-sports are a great way to diversify your store, fill some gaps between seasons and downtimes. I think they're a great balance to the sports card collections as well.
We bring balance to the force, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
So throw a little Star Wars in there. Let's see. I want to know this also, Bill. What have you, Charlie? Did you watch it or no?
So funny you should ask that, because I know it's always a topic. Mm-hmm. I was fully prepared to come in tonight and announce I have not watched your videos, Adam. I have not spent a second on them this week. But guess what I did when I was getting ready for the show? I turned on your video about non-sports cards and watched it.
All right. You can live for one more week, I guess. So Art says good evening. He's joined us tonight. Obviously, Bill's here. We just heard from Bill. Yeah. So I just kind of, that was sort of piqued my interest yesterday when I was thinking of video ideas. I really want to bring, I think, non-sports cards more into the fold. I think that they've been overlooked long enough. It's not the investor thing and the flipping thing and all that. But when you're looking as a reseller, the way I look at reselling is I don't really want to care about the future potential of the value. I want to buy something at a discount today, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, these Game of Thrones insert cards I bought at the National for 2 cents a piece. They were 10 cents, but it was like fill a box kind of thing. And by the time I counted how many cards were in the box, I paid about 2 cents a piece. And I'm going to list them for $5 for most of them. You and I looked at one before the show started. And the Tenaris one, I will ask $8 for. That's hard to do that with a sports card, to get a sports card for 2 cents and get $8. I feel like it's easier to do with non-sports when you can find non-sports. They're also harder to find. I tend to seek them out a lot at shows because of that reason. A lot less printed, things like that. So it'll just be interesting to see kind of long term how that progresses, if that continues to see growth. We've talked about the Sonic the Hedgehog stuff quite a bit. That's one of my little honey holes. I got a huge lot coming in the next couple of days that I'll be getting on there, but they're the sellers of those cards when you're looking for lots. Obviously, if it's dealers, that can be a little different, but when you're buying lots and stuff, it's a lot of people just clearing stuff out. They don't realize that there's value in it. And we're basically selling to the end user, right? We're selling to the actual collector. So a lot of times when we're buying those lots, we're splitting them up. So there's so much more margin in it that way than there is in generally. I buy like a lot of Patrick Mahomes cards, for example. The lot gets broken down to price per card by pretty much anybody who would be looking at buying it, But I don't think it's the same with non-sport cards in a lot of cases, because a lot of people that would be shopping for those cards are looking for the pieces they need for their collection, not for a lot. At least that's my experience.
Yeah, I agree, and that's one of the things I like about that too. Like, we were at a show together when I bought these Marvel 2099 sets, and that was like I want to say it was like,
no, I would have bought those.
And I think it was like a 25 card set I bought for $20 or $25. Well, so far I've sold each card for $5 a piece, because like you said, it's somebody looking for that one particular card to complete their set. And that's more important to them than really anything else in the transaction, is just getting the one they need.
You know what? One of the other things that's really interesting as a volume seller that I've noticed now, I get a lot less offers on my non-sports cards. I get a lot of buyers who just click buy and pay, and that's it.
Yeah.
Versus sports cards, I can ask $1.99 and someone will make me an offer for like $1.89. It's like, really?
Yeah.
There's always a kicking of the pennies on sports cards. Like, you have to get a better deal than the asking price. And the non-sports buyers just really aren't like that. They're like, oh, $5 for that card. I need it for my set. Great. Here you go. And there's a lot less back and forth and offers and, getting turned off by a nickel here or there. So that's really kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, I would agree.
There's a few exceptions. Pokemon has a yeah. And there's a couple of exceptions. I think, Pokemon obviously has a much bigger market, some Star Wars things, there's a lot more players in those games, playing on those, reselling those cards, collecting those cards and things. But yeah, the vast majority of the uncommon things. I had bought some, I'm listing all these non-sports cards from the National that I'd picked up for 2 cents. And I bought a bunch of Superman Returns sticker cards. Like, terrible movie. No one cares about it. I listed the stickers for I had 4 of them. I listed them for $5 a piece. I sold 3 of them to one buyer, like, instantly.
Yeah.
There's somebody that wants those, and sticker cards, I'll buy any sticker card anyway, especially at 2 cents. But that's kind of like, I might be sitting on these. No one cares about Superman Returns and Brandon Routh and his version of Superman and things. And it's like, they were gone right away. It was one of the first things that sold. out of those listings. And it was a new listing, so no promotion cost either.
Right.
And that's one of the other things I talked about in the video is your promotion expenses are cheaper. There isn't as much competition in the non-sport, so the percentages are smaller on your promotion fees, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were talking about stickers. I mean, those are kind of the first ones that go in a lot of those non-sport sets as well. So anytime you see non-sport stickers out there, I would say grab them up, right?
Yeah.
For the right price. Everything's about the price.
Yep.
In the end. But
bargain for it.
Yeah. Scott says he just watched the video. He can really find them at shows. I think what he's saying is I can't really find them at shows. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. Where do you guys get yours? What kind of dealers? And that's exactly what I was just talking about. It's a lot harder to find. They're sports card shows, baseball card shows. Other than Pokemon, the non-sport is not nearly as common. I buy a lot of lots online. The National is a great place. You even have to poke around there. There might be 600 dealers there, and there's like 10 that have non-sport cards, like a good portion of non-sport cards for a good price. So it takes a lot of digging, and you're not going to know a lot of the cards, so you just kind of take chances on them. But yeah, so in a way, there's more barriers to entry. There's not as many, cards laying at a card show on a table as there are Luka Doncic cards. But that also makes them a better buy because of that.
Yeah, and if you're making the rounds at your area's card shows, you start to get a feel for which shows will have some, which ones rarely have any. There's times, Adam, when you're like, that's a show I really want to hit because I think they're going to have some non-sport there.
Yeah, I really like that Cardboard Legacy show in Oshkosh, where you bought those Marvel cards, actually.
Yeah.
I'd found a pretty good chunk of different non-sport cards that I bought, and most of them I've sold already.
Like Goonies.
So yeah, I like those, like Goonies, right? The Goonies, the Dukes of Hazzard stickers I bought. Like, there's a bunch of good non-sport stuff at that show, and I feel like the more we can hit some combined like toy action figure card type shows, the more those types of cards will show up. And then you just kind of have to keep an eye out for them at any show, and see if you can buy some stuff. All those Starline cards, which I just sold to Johnny Cash today, but for $6, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
All these Starline cards that I bought the big lot of, at that show in Neenah. Totally random. I mean, there was only sports cards. Well, you found the what's his name? The Warner Brothers alien guy. I can't think of his name.
Warner Brothers alien guy. Oh, Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, the card you bought, Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
So even there, like, we found a few, but it's needles in a haystack most of the time.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a non-sport show. That would be amazing.
It would be. Maybe we got to start one.
Yeah, maybe. It was, that was one of the reasons we had went to that kind of pop culture convention at the Rush Center here, was in hopes of finding some non-sport. We didn't even really find much there this time.
Yeah.
Creed, besides Pokemon, are there any other non-sport types of cards that you look for?
Star Wars or comic kind of puzzle sort of cards.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good to get perspective of the young collectors too, because I think, other than the older properties that we were into as kids, He-Man cards, stuff like that, I think you're going to have more kids in the non-sport collecting area.
Right.
Yeah.
At this time, I don't know. All right, let's get to the chat a little bit. MD Sports Cards is here. Welcome back to the show. Good evening, gentlemen. Ready for Saturday yet? No, not at all. Part of my day was going to be to start, pulling together some show stuff. I mean, my boxes are pretty set. It's just kind of organizing some things, but I'm bringing a bunch of toys and other sports collectibles and things like that. It's right before Christmas. I have a bunch of that stuff. I sold a bunch online, but I got a bunch that haven't sold yet. So I figured I'd bring them there, just kind of do a make an offer to me kind of thing. I don't have to ship them. I don't have to pack them, good way to get some of that stuff moved. So hopefully I did pretty well with the Funko Pops that one time that I brought them.
Yeah.
I think I had 12 Funko Pops and I sold like 5 or 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's cash. They just take them with them. So I'm hoping that, I'll come with a couple of big boxes of toys and some other stuff, and I'm hoping I can leave without most of them. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, because I know a few people who collect those too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I have some action. Yeah, for sure. And I have some action figures and some plush and like a couple other random things too. And I think people are going to be that come to the show. I think they're going to be there with money and they're going to be looking to buy stuff.
Yeah. It's probably going to be Thursday night for me getting ready. My boxes are mostly set too, but I need to combine a few things. The boys might have some Pokemon cards there, but Friday night's going to be busy. We're going to be busy because, we got the big title match we're going to. Oh, no! I broke the belt! Where is it? There it is. He's got me, he says.
You are not the champion.
I'm probably hands off the belt now moving forward.
It's old. It's an old one. Old.
Well, that sounds awesome. I hope you guys have a really good time. I've been to it's been a long time, but I've been to a couple of wrestling matches and it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, if the crowd gets into it, it can be an electrifying night. Regardless of your thoughts of wrestling, but the crowd gets that same feel as like a big time sporting event. And sometimes even better, there's kind of like soccer, right? A lot of soccer clubs have their own cheers they do, and wrestling gets like that as well.
Yeah, the more the crowd can get into it, really, the more fun you'll have, for sure. I would agree.
Yeah.
All right, so Art Green says, I only add offers on lower serial numbered stuff of mid-tier players that are hard to price or move. I'll send out offers, but I'm not going to get into negotiation on $2 or $3 cards. Yeah, and that's fine. You have to run it the way it works best for you. I love getting offers and being able to send offers. To me, that's where you get most of the deals done. And I price high, so I have room in there. And a lot of times I'm getting multiple offers on multiple cards, or offers on multiple cards. So where I want $3, for a single card sale, I'm willing to take $1.50, $2 if they're going to buy like 3 or 4 cards at a time. So that's what I like about offers. I don't want to turn off any tool that could possibly help me make a sale that gets me some profit, is how I look at it.
Same for me. I keep offers on everything.
Charlie, man of many words tonight.
Well, we've got a little bit of a delay here in the technology, so I'm trying to make sure there's a good opening before I say something and cut you off 20 seconds later.
Right. Yeah. I'm not quite sure where that's coming from, but yeah, we're being able to. I think we're doing okay working through it. So we apologize if it's annoying if any of you notice it out there in chat land. All right, so Bill asks, non-sport. Speaking of non-sport, they released Topps Chrome Disney today with autos of Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Donald Duck, and Pluto. I did not see that. I think I did hear that they were going to be releasing something like that because Disney 100 was so popular and Lorcana did so well. I think they're going to oversaturate and no one's going to care because I think that I don't know how wide that market really is for those cards, but and who's signing them? Who's signing the Mickey Mouse card?
Mickey Mouse is. What do you mean?
I mean, I guess kind of take a page out of the Santa Claus. Yeah, right. Kind of take a page out of the Santa Claus autos. I mean, they'll sell pretty well out of the baseball products. So
exactly.
Maybe that's kind of what they were thinking. I don't know. Interesting. I did see. Did you see this yet, Charlie? The 1/1 Tom Brady auto superfractor was pulled about 2 hours ago.
I didn't.
That Tom Brady Expos rookie Bowman baseball card.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody pulled the superfractor already, and I think there's a bounty. I think there's a $200,000 bounty or something on it. So. All right, so non-sport's going to be the theme of the evening. I kind of felt like that might be the case. Card Honesty Collectibles, welcome to the show. Asks, good evening, gentlemen. Clearly, again, somebody who doesn't know us very well. I want to know why dealers even buy non-sport just to turn around and almost give them away if they don't see value in them. So what my experience has been buying them from dealers is that they're buying big pallets of cards or collections or, 4-row boxes cheap without looking at them. They don't know that the non-sport is in there. And when they're not interested in it, it just goes out in their dime quarter boxes, lotted out, however they want to do it, just to sell that stuff and move on from it because they're just interested in the sports cards. Which again is exactly why I made the video and said when you can find non-sport cards, there can be huge opportunities in them. Yeah. There was a card I just talked about on this show last week. Charlie, remember that Super Nintendo card I was telling you about with the Royal Rumble on it? Those cards that were advertising the video games.
Yeah,
there's a Spider-Man one. I was going to show it and I said I already put it away. I was going to grab it out. I never did. Maybe I'll take a break and go do that. But the last copy of that sold for $20. I paid 2 cents. 2 cents.
It's a nice margin.
Yeah, pretty good margin. Not only that, I'll probably get $20 for it. Like it probably won't get a bunch of offers. It's not going to sit very long. There isn't a ton of them out there. So not only do they have the value, but it's just there's just more liquidity in it. There isn't as many available, and people don't grade them, so you don't have I was looking for a PSA 10 of that Royal Rumble card,
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely non-sports cards that get graded, but it's not as investment heavy a market as sports cards are. You're really looking to find stuff that you can sell to collectors. Art kind of replied to the question as well. He said, if I had to guess, it's because they bought collections and don't want to bother pricing them out. They didn't buy the collection for those cards and just want something for them. Exactly.
Yeah, because of
move the ball, get the money back.
Shiny.
Right. Average Dave has joined us tonight. Welcome back. I went looking for non-sports at a show and found packs of Elf, Little Monsters, etc. for $1. Didn't know if that's a deal or not. Now, most of the packs, especially if you're looking at wax packs, what's different between non-sport and sports cards is most non-sport packs come with a sticker insert in each pack. And that's where a lot of the money is. There's certain base cards that can do okay, if it features the first card of that character, or it's the header card, or Some of the checklists do really well, things like that. But for the most part, like for your example here, Elf. I just sold an Elf sticker today for $2.99. He's in a little like football uniform. I don't know. But I got $3 for that. So if you bought the pack for $1, you got 10 cards plus the sticker, and you can sell the sticker for $3. Even if you just lot out those 10 base cards, you can probably get another $2 for those. That's $5 you can get out of that $1. That's not a terrible return. A little bit of work, but you're probably not going to do something pack by pack anyway. You would be buying more lots or bigger chunks of packs. Little Monsters, I'm not too familiar with that pack. I actually think I need one because I do collect non-sport sealed packs. But yeah, I would buy those for $1. What I'd probably do is, like, if you had 10 Elf packs and they were priced at $1 a piece, I'd see if you could get the 10 for $5, right? Try to get them for like 50 cents, just like you would with sports cards. Try to get your bulk deal. And then either you could keep them sealed, which is never a bad idea for any product, or you could crack them and then take the sticker cards and sell those. They should be in pretty good shape.
I've got some Elf as well. I haven't been able to move them as well as I had hoped. I was just looking for them to see if I could find them here. Creed, I don't think you even know who Elf is, do you?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
It stands for Alien Life Form.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of that stuff kind of goes in waves. This past week, I sold some of the Michael Jackson stickers. Again, same thing. It was a pack of cards, and you got a sticker in each pack. I'd bought a big lot of stickers really cheap. It was probably 80, 90 stickers, and I got them for like $5, $6, something like that, plus shipping. So you're talking less than 10 cents a sticker, which sticker cards for 10 cents, yes, I'll take those all day long. But a lot of them had sat. Now I don't care because a 10-cent investment is such a small capital risk, but this past week I think I sold 3 or 4 of them. So to different buyers too. They didn't all go to one buyer. So you just kind of have to wait it out. It's not like, oh, football season's coming and the Bengals are supposed to be really good, I'll sell all my Joe Burrow cards. Like it doesn't really flow that way. You just kind of have to go with it. And when they sell, And it's like anything, you get into that algorithm. Well, I sold one Michael Jackson card, so now I'll probably sell more Michael Jackson cards. It's just kind of how it goes. So kind of along those lines, Scott asks, what do you think is the single most important thing to do on eBay to get sales? Is it listing continuously? Obviously, having good inventory helps. Yeah, I would say the biggest thing would be to list regularly items that people actually want to buy and at prices they'd be willing to pay. That by far is the single most important thing. What do you think, Charlie?
Well, Creed, what do you see Dad doing with cards every day?
Posting them on your cash on your phone all the time.
Listing cards every day. I want to stay present in that algorithm. I want eBay to say, this is a player. Let's promote their stuff out there, even if they're not doing promotions. Let's get their cards in front of people. And I think just that activity level is the number one thing. You're absolutely right, though, Adam. You got to have things people want. You got to have price points that make sense to people. But easily number one thing is just consistent activity. We've also talked about accepting offers, making everything offer eligible. The promotions, 3-4 months ago, neither of us were doing promotions, and we flipped that switch and immediately saw a difference. So if you can do promotions, I highly encourage those as well.
Tom replies, think Triple Diamond Sports pulled it. He's referring to the Tom Brady Superfractor 101 auto, and he's correct. It was Triple Diamond Sports. I think they're a breaker. So that makes the most sense, I guess.
Yeah.
MD Sports Cards kind of agrees with us. 100% list every day is most important. Second is relevant sellable inventory. And I think that's it's hard enough to list, but I think it's even trickier to list inventory that will sell, that you can make a profit on. That's just something that you kind of learn as time goes on. And that's why I don't like those big bulk listing programs, because I think you're just going to shove a bunch of stuff out that won't have sales because you weren't really taking the time or getting the experience to know what you were listing.
At the same time, there are kind of two classes of things that I like to think about in my store. There are those things that I know are movers. Like, it's just a matter of time for sure. Someone's going to be looking for this card. But then there's also that second group that are kind of those eclectic things where you can start to become that seller. When you need something odd, where do you go? You're going to find it at that seller. I think of the flying pig card you sold, Adam. Where else is someone going to find a flying pig?
And don't forget the water skiing squirrel.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Both Sports Illustrated for Kids cards, by the way. Tom wants to know if I have a sealed pack of 1991, the Wrap Pack. I do not. If not, I got you. Just need an address. Oh, that would be awesome. It would go on my wall of non-sport success. For those of you interested in non-sport packs and that kind of thing, I did make a video and showed off a lot of my collection and my display and stuff. So if you haven't, go to the channel and check that out. If you search non-sport pack video, it's likely the only one that I have on there. I haven't done any real dedicated videos other than the one sort of today to non-sports. Tom says he's always keeping an eye out for music auctions and lots. 80s metal, 90s grunge, and hip hop, 2000s pop. Yeah, absolutely. I like the is it Brockham, I think it's called, that music set where it's got all the different sticker cards of like Eddie from Iron Maiden and stuff like that. Yeah. Those are awesome cards. The pro set music that Charlie was talking about earlier. The Yo MTV Raps set is probably my favorite music set. There's a European release of the pro set music that has totally different cards in it, and there's some cool stuff in there with a lot of like English artists and stuff that they didn't have in the American released card set. So yeah, I would love some 90s grunge cards. I don't know that there's a set that really has a lot of 90s grunge. I think one of those music sets I mentioned earlier does have a Pearl Jam card. And Soundgarden. I think the Pro set has a Soundgarden card too.
So if you're by 90s, like, by 90s grunge, you mean like the Cher card, right?
Yeah,
Cher's
right.
grunge.
No, she's grungy, but she's grungy in a different way. So, Tom's also says, hold on a second here. I clicked on this wrong.
Well, the old Kerrang magazine. I remember that one. New Music, NME. I'm not familiar with that one, but Kerrang has been around a long time. And I didn't know that they had cards in them occasionally. I know the old, pin-up posters you could take out or cut out the pages. but I haven't seen cards in there before. That would be, something new for me. But yeah, I think the example of SI for Kids has shown that there's more than one source of marketable cards out there, and you really have to expand your search a little bit and be open to new sources. Welcome back, Adam.
Hey, I think maybe we have our problems fixed now.
Oh, really?
Or do we still have maybe a tad bit of an audio delay, but we'll see.
Were you stepping on the cord?
That TDS cannot come fast enough. Did I tell you they trenched my yard, and I have the wire sitting outside the wall. I'm just waiting for some Yahoo to come here and put an outlet in so I can plug it in. So
you finally got him in the right
within
space?
the next week or two we'll have that done. Yeah, exactly. So Tom says there's some cool European magazine only releases of playing cards that are pretty cool. Good long-term plays. New Music, NME, and Kerrang. I have to look into that. I haven't looked at music cards in a little bit. I got into a kick of that for a while, and I bought a ton of it. I buy the YTV Wraps update boxes whenever I can find them for a good price because of the Beastie Boys rookies in there do so well. As a matter of fact, I sold a stack of YoMTV Wraps cards this past weekend. It was 30 some cards.
Yeah.
Somebody bought. They bought a bunch of Black Sheep, cards in quantity. It was only 5 or 6 cards, but they bought 5 or 6 copies of each. Kid
Right.
Capri, Black Sheep, and one other rap artist. I can't remember who it was, but yeah. So there's definitely buyers for those.
Absolutely.
Cher has that it factor, but maybe it's from shooting music videos and thongs on the U.S. battleship as a teen in the 90s. Yeah, that usually helps.
Sounds like TV's
yeah, we've kind
got
of all
a little
grown
bit of
up with
crush.
her. She's been around forever. Right? Yeah. I remember when she was still with Sonny. I mean, I'm old, so when it was Sonny and Cher, the Sonny and Cher show and stuff when she was real young. She actually wore clothes then, so that was a different time, but watching as a teen in the 90s, yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We're old. Tom says, yes, YoMTV Update is the box to grab. I've got one right here that I have to crack. So you want to get the, I don't know if you can see this. You want to get the update box. You see where it says update?
Yeah.
You can go solo. So yeah, you gotta look for the little update logo on there. That's what you want. Well, that's the one with the Beastie Boys. And then I also have a box of just the Series 1 Pro set too, still in the bubble wrap here.
Nice.
But I'll crack that eventually. But I have a lot of the Pro set right now, so I have a lot of the Pro set right now, so I'm not doing that right now. Opening that one. I'm in a different window. How's that?
Yeah.
Better?
That's better. That's right, though. I think actually it is time to say goodnight to our guest here tonight. It's a school night, so before we open up live after dark with Stuart, we probably got to say goodnight. So, so Creed, thanks for joining us, man. Hope you had a good time.
Creed, always a pleasure, my man.
Man of very few words, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And just remember what Stuart always
Are you going to be at the show on Saturday?
Yes. I will. I might post a video on my channel on Sunday, I think, of the cards I got.
Really?
Yes.
Well, shout out. What's your channel? What's your channel
Pokemon
address?
Pokemon Brothers. There is some other ones.
Pokemon Brothers? Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to find it though. There's other channels that pop up.
We got to work on that then.
Yeah.
Got to make you stand out.
Yeah.
Like Stu.
I gotta post more often. Yeah. Goodbye, people.
Have a good night, son.
Yeah.
So, good night, Creed. Earlier we kind of talked about what is the thing you can do to, get sales on eBay. There's kind of the same rule of thumb with YouTube, right? YouTube has an algorithm as well, and it wants you to post videos. Imagine that.
Right.
You don't post as many videos, or you only post once every couple months, and you don't get views, and boom, your channel just. But consequently, you post decent content, you post regularly. You can move right up there. That video today is hot. I'm at 590 views on that. For me, that's a good video. In comparison, my second best video that I've released had 361 views at this point since release. So
you set a new personal record?
Just it just shows you like the videos in the last 90 days, and it'll tell you like where your video ranks, where each video ranks. So I've had videos that, I have videos that have, a few thousand views, but if they've been out for a while, they're gonna continue to add views, especially ones where it's like how to pack and ship a card, those kind of videos constantly get views.
Right.
I think they're a necessity on a channel like this, because I need those views on those videos, because I'm not gonna have a viral video that I release. It's not that kind of content. So it's nice to have those. Usually how I get new viewers is a viewer will say, hey, I watched your standard envelope video, thanks for the tips. Or, oh, hey, I watched your how to sell low-end sports card video, and I'm in. Those are kind of your draws. Those have a few thousand views. And then my goofy little Baby Yoda video that I made, which was like the first video on my channel, has like 100,000 views. So
right.
Whatever. But that video still gets views. It's still my most viewed video, which is strange because it has nothing to do with the channel. Tom says, thanks, Creed, for joining us, old geezers. Exactly. And also plug the channel. He'll give a sub. So he did mention it's Pokemon Brothers, but I think there's like a few Pokemon Brothers channels. So I'm not sure how you would sort through that or what his logo is or anything, but might be something he does want to adjust a bit to individualize it, like Pokemon Brothers, with a number after it or something. I don't know. Pokemon Brothers CC, for Creed and Caleb or something.
Of course, you got to stylize it with a Z probably instead of an S. Pokemon Bros.
The brothers. I was just gonna say Pokemon Bro, BRUH, right? The bro.
They started that just a couple months ago. I think they've only done like one video so far. They're pretty new at it yet, but I like to see them, trying new things.
It's what's funny about it is I think a lot of people want to start a YouTube channel. It sounds like cool and a way to get yourself out there and you get paid and blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of friggin' work. Like, I think that gets underestimated. My daughter wanted, of course, as soon as she found out my channel and she would watch and she'd see the likes and the, subscriptions going up and things, she's like, I got to start my YouTube channel. I'm like, great, do it. You make the videos. I'll show you how to edit. I'll teach you how to do it. But I said, I'm not running two channels. You're going to do this if you want to do this. And she really doesn't make any videos now. We're also limiting the public exposure quite a bit because she's young. I think that's responsible, as a parent. But even so, she could make those videos. We can turn them public at any point when she's at a reasonable age to have that type of exposure. But yeah, channel doesn't do a whole lot now. I even paid to have a logo made and everything, and she just hasn't done a lot with it. So. But that's okay. That's kind of how you teach your kids too, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's something they think they want and they don't really want to earn it.
I actually just found it. They have 2 shorts out there. What's your favorite Pokemon card? And our first video. So it actually is at Pokemon Brothers 1.
Okay. Pokemon Brothers 1. Okay, that makes more sense. Because I was going to say I'm not sure how they would have got the name Pokemon Brothers. There's got to be somebody else out there with that.
Yeah, that's the title of the page, but the
yeah,
user
when
ID
he gives a shout out for he gives a shout out for his channel and asks for subs, he's got to make sure he knows the name of the channel when he asks for subs.
He does. He does. I'll put it in the chat.
All in due time.
I'll put it in the chat, and then if they get a couple of subs, they're gonna freak out.
I'm sure, yeah. Yeah, just throw a link in the chat. That's cool. Bill says he wants to get some Back to the Future cards. I just sold a Back to the Future sticker today. Well, actually, I sold it yesterday. I shipped it today. They do okay. I haven't bought a lot of them. I don't see them pop up quite as much, and I haven't found like really good deals on them. I would love to find like a 7-set lot or something like that, where I could get a really nice big bulk on something like that. Because the sticker set, I think, consists of 11 sticker cards. So that's not very many. I would want a bigger quantity than that when buying online. See, that's the trick. If you're finding them in person at, a quarter or 50 cents, great. You don't pay any shipping. You don't pay the tax. You don't have any of that stuff. Then it's worth it. But if you're paying $1 a sticker and then another $5 to ship them, and I don't know, your margins can get pretty small. Also, one thing that's interesting is the first Back to the Future doesn't have any cards. It's Back to the Future 2 that has cards.
That's right.
It's the same thing with Ghostbusters. So the first Ghostbusters movie does have a card set, but it came out in 2012, I want to say, and it's made by Cryptozoic. The very first Back to the Future movie still has no cards, as crazy as that is.
That is odd, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if some company can pick up the rights and make them, Rittenhouse or Comic Images or Inkworks or Cryptozoic, one of those companies that still kind of runs around and does pop culture card sets. Yeah, I'd be all over that. I'd even buy a box of that. That would be fun as hell to rip, with the original Back to the Future stuff. Especially if they had cool inserts. That Cryptozoic, that Cryptozoic Ghostbusters set has some really cool stuff in it. Bill says he's excited for Stuart After Dark.
Well, we got to look at the undercarriage. We get After Dark, we got to look under. You might have to upgrade your rating on this.
Stuart upskirt video. Yeah, right. That demonetized. Maybe a Pokemon type like the Pokemon Fire Brothers or Pokemon Grass Brothers or Pokemon Trainer Brothers. Ooh, Trainer, I like that. That's a good idea. All right, Rex Freestyle Pack Rips is in the house. Thanks for joining us. Hey, fellas, shout outs, Dollar Box. Hey, shout out back to you. Thanks for being here. Laser fingers.
That's right.
Tom says he thought about doing a channel, but seems like too much work. It's work. What a more work, Adam? YouTube or eBay? eBay is by far more work. But that's my income. That pays my bills. Yeah, especially on Mondays. At some point, what I would really like, my business goal is to eventually have my YouTube income pay for my inventory that I buy to sell on eBay so that I have zero cost of goods. I want that to be my investor, right? My capital provider. And I make a little bit on YouTube, but not a lot. Not nearly enough to buy inventory for the store on a regular basis. But if these new videos, as the views keep going up every time I release one, that's what you want to see, right? I mean, that's the right direction.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, one of the hardest things about it, especially if you don't have a very broad topic channel, one of the hardest things is to constantly come up with content. You need to have something that you can make a full video about that someone's actually going to want to see. Then you got to kind of come up with a thumbnail and a title that will make people want to watch it. And then you have to edit it. Well, I guess you can release videos without editing, but your content quality goes down if you don't do any editing. Obviously, for like a live like this, that's fine. But so there's a lot that goes into it. But it's like anything else. I can do a lot of it, and I do all my editing, all my filming on my phone, so I can do it pretty much from anywhere in the house. Today I went to go pick up my daughter from school. I got there about 10 minutes early, so as I was sitting in the parking lot, I was working on thumbnails and stuff like that. And yeah, you just kind of, if you can get in where you fit in, it's not as big a deal. And I don't put too much pressure on myself to be like, oh, it's Tuesday, I gotta have a video. Oh, it's Thursday, I gotta have a video. It's just kind of when it catches my fancy. I feel like I've got a few minutes in the day. This video that I put out today, I really like because I have to pack orders no matter what. And I put some of those in the video. So it's kind of like I'm just filming while I'm doing my work. I have my topic and I have, all my points written down and stuff that I do in between, hey, this is the sale for the day, that kind of thing. But those aren't quite as bad. Now, editing is more, though, because I have a lot more blank space time in there that I got out. I have to chop my sales screen from eBay and put that in there. So there's more editing part, but I get concerned more with the filming. I want to get the video filmed because I can edit anytime I want, but filming, I have to be here. I have to have the cards in front of me, all that, kind of like you do, Charlie, where you take pictures of all the cards because as long as you have the photos, you can go list them anytime you want, anywhere you want. So I kind of do a little bit of the same thing with YouTube. I just got to get the film.
Yeah, that's a lifesaver for me. So if you can do the same thing for your videos, I would say you got to. I mean, even right now, these are all cards on my phone just waiting for me to list.
Yep.
And sometimes
I know,
it's a lifesaver.
You've done it that way for a long time. It works really well.
Like the last couple of days, I would say 90% of the listings I did were mobile, in between places, waiting for something here or there, not in the house, just filling that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess the point we're trying to make is you have to do these things. So you've got to try to figure out what your path is to fit it in. If you're busy people like Charlie and I know Charlie has another full-time job, and he also has a wife and 2 kids and a house and a football team and all that. I have YouTube. I've got a wife, a house. My father-in-law lives with us right now. I've got a daughter. I've got a dog. It's like those things all take attention too. So you have to figure out some sort of path where you can still get this stuff done, and maybe not all just sitting in an office with dedicated time to it, because that doesn't always happen that way. So I like Average Dave come up with an idea for the name for their channel, Super Pokemon Brothers. I kind of like that. That's fun.
That is
kind of
good.
A play on Super Mario. And yeah. All right. So Rex says, I thought I was going to blow up after that first month of having my channel. Years later, I'm up to 250 subs. Okay, so that's the other thing that people get totally wrong. It's not like, oh, I started a channel, I put a video out there, I have 1 million viewers. Like those are the channels that you're watching that pop up on your feed because of their subscription rate. But unless you're making viral stuff or you're really pretty and half naked or whatever, unless you have some sort of big draw, you're blowing stuff up, you're giving away cars, and unless you're going way over the top. You're probably not going to get 100,000 viewers in a year or something like that. It's going to take a lot longer. So I don't even think I'm at 1,900 yet. My channel has been definitely a slow growth. I'm at 1,898, but I get really good views, really good watch time, and honestly, that's what pays the bills, not subscribers. You need to hit the 1,000 subscriber count so you can get monetized, so they pay you. But then after that, really all you have to worry about is views and watch time, because that's what they pay you out on. Because it's only when ads get displayed in the video that it generates any revenue. My click-through rate is really good. My impressions are good. My view duration per video is pretty good. Like, for example, the video I put out today is 18 minutes long, I think. I can't remember. It's somewhere right around there. And my average view duration is 6 minutes and 5 seconds, which is actually pretty good on a video, believe it or not. There's a lot of videos where it's like 30 seconds is like your average view time, because people accidentally click on it, or they watch the first, you have a bit of a quick clickbaity title and they're like, yep, that's not what I wanted to watch. I'm out of here. So if you have quality content, you should be seeing a bigger range of view time. And the longer someone stays to view, the more ads that will get displayed and the more revenue you will make. If they purchase a YouTube subscription and don't watch ads, then part of that subscription price they're paying goes to your incentive for them watching your video, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So you just Pokemon Brothers 1. Okay, so you put the link in the chat here. I'm gonna throw this up on the screen in case anybody wants to throw some subs at Creed and Caleb. YouTube, and it's at Pokemon-Brothers 1. Okay. All right, Tom says he's gonna sub. How about that? I'm not sure if he was referring to Creed and Caleb's channel or to Rex's channel. Either way, good on you. I'll throw some subs out there too. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I'm subscribed to their Pokemon channel either, now that I think about it.
Well, I don't think they've really, done anything to publicize it or anything and tried to get it out there. So, again, it's new to them. They were intrigued by this show we do on Wednesdays and some of your videos, and they're like, we want to try that with some Pokemon cards. So I was like, okay, give it a shot. It's not as easy as it looks. I give them credit for at least stepping up to the mic and getting on camera and giving it a try, right?
And they're young yet. They got a lot of time to try to grow it and do something with it. And so yeah, don't put too much pressure on themselves to hold on here. I'm gonna see if I can connect on my phone.
Whoa. I feel like I just went down a rabbit hole now.
All right, let's try this. How's that work?
We got the echo.
Okay, how's that?
That is much
better. Does that work better?
So much better.
All right, we're going to do this. Yeah. I was all excited because my laptopity box is working so much better now, but I'm having some connection issues, so we're going to do it this way.
It was like we were using the AI Adam and Charlie for a while.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure. All right, let me see if I can catch up here. I'm not sure where we are with chat. Oh, we're getting behind in the chat now. We've got 24 people live watching, so that's pretty awesome. Appreciate it. If you haven't liked the video yet, now that I have clear, concise video and sound, maybe you'll give us a like. We would appreciate you. Creed and Kayla would appreciate you. And Charlie and Stuart will appreciate you.
Stuart!
Going down that rabbit goat hole.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Where are we at? It's like a whole new thing now. Trying to see where I'm at.
How?
Okay, here we go.
Do your Star Wars cards sell? I find mine are pretty spotty. The ones that move better are obviously the main characters, but then I find my Topps 206 little tobacco size cards do decent as well.
My Star Wars cards do extremely well. I sell a ton. I have a bunch of the 70s stuff does really well. The modern stuff doesn't do as well. Again, sometimes it just becomes kind of white noise. It's like, oh, another Luke Skywalker card. You're like, right. Who cares, right? Hold on one second. I'm gonna turn this light off.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the you go with the vintage, the 77 stuff. Should I share a secret?
A secret?
Well, how many likes do we have on this video? Can I even tell that anywhere without going to YouTube?
While we're going through it, I don't know. I don't know that you can.
I'm gonna have to pull up YouTube. Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Because you're not filming with your phone, right? Can you check and see how many likes we have?
I can try. That's pretty high tech for me to try and check YouTube on my phone while we're filming a live stream.
I'm gonna try to earn some likes for my for revealing my secret. It'll be a secret to at least some of you.
Let's see.
And it's about Star Wars cards.
Where's the likes? 11 likes right now, I think.
11 likes. Can we get to 20 likes? You guys help us out and get to 20 likes. That's what I want to see. If we can get to 20 likes, I will reveal my Star Wars selling secret. I gotta plug my phone in now too. All these technical things that are required in a show. No,
that's at 12 now.
My laptop was 12. Okay, come on, guys. 8 more. 8 more. We're gonna be here all night. Not really though. All right, so I'll keep going. You let me know when we hit 20, and I'll reveal my Star Wars card secret.
All right, I'll try and keep an eye on it.
Okay, so hold on. I just got to plug my phone in, or I'm gonna die during the middle of this. Okay, that's better. All right, so MI3 has joined us. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Please give us a like. Does YouTube pay you enough to pay for the cost of making all your content? Yes, big time. I don't really spend any money on making my content. I just make content about the business that I run. So I would be doing that either way. Now, I did, of course, buy a camera to do filming during card shows, things like that. But that was just a couple $100. That stuff's been paid off forever. So, yeah, it does. Like I said, I don't make a fortune. I have like 1,900 subscribers and I get like 8,000 views. My watch time was really good this past month. It was like 1,700 hours or something like that. I don't know. It's crazy when you look at the numbers. You're like, man, I had that many people wasted their time watching my crap. But that's kind of how I see it, because like I don't have a lot. I'm a very self-confident person, self-actualized person, but I don't have very good confidence in my video making ability. I think it's one of those hard things you tend to be hard on yourself about. But anyway, Let's see here. So we've got Ryan Sells. Are you still getting an audio delay, Charlie? Or are we good now?
It's much better, I believe. It might be just the slightest one.
Okay. And that's natural. We're still talking from a distance, so that makes some sense.
Actually, you responded immediately there, so I think we're plausibly live with our AI selves.
Okay, good. It's got to be something with my laptop. Maybe I got to run an update or something. Oh, actually, now that I look at it, it looks like there is an update to be done. What does this say? Remember, I had some trouble even hooking up the audio when you first got on, too.
Yeah.
Yep, there's an update that has to be done, too.
So what happens when you never use your laptop?
I do, just not for a ton of stuff. I really like my phone. I have a foldable phone. It's got a nice big screen, and it's fast, and I don't know. I can do pretty much everything I need to do right on there. It's touchscreen, of course. Anyway, Ryan Sells has joined us. He said, started using the date for the barcode in Teambag today for new listings. I really like it. It was a great idea. Whoever mentioned that last show. It was kind of a collaborative effort between Charlie and Urethra Franklin, ironically enough, is her handle name. She kind of had the Teambag idea, and then Charlie kind of said, well, why don't you just date them? And I like that because it makes it really easy to keep them in order. So I've been doing it now, too. And I kind of mentioned it in the video, which is what you saw, Ryan. But I date my first one. Here, I'm going to see if I can go to. Can I go to just me?
Yep. There you
go. So kind of date my first one, and my handwriting sucks. So you'll see here it says 12/13/23, and then when that one gets full, then I just do a 2 on the next one, and then a 3 if I have more than that. So if you listen a bunch of stuff in a day, you might have some multiple bags. But I put it exactly like that then on the SKU too. So it says 12/13/23 parentheses 2. So it doesn't make it any harder to find just because there's multiple bags.
You can use special characters in the SKUs?
Yes.
What about smiley face?
Don't know. I did not try. I did not try, so I don't know. I would hope so. Why would you ever disallow goat anything? Goats are the best.
Exactly, right?
How many likes we got?
I'm seeing 14. 14.
You guys are going to go home empty-handed tonight, unfortunately. We got to get those likes. What do you mean by sticker cards? Not sport or non-sport? Definitely non-sport. I'm talking about. Let me see if I've got one laying around. Well, here I have some that I just listed today in my nice labeled team bag here. You got one you're going to pull out, Charlie?
Yeah, I was looking to see if I had one handy here. Here's an A-team one. The A-team, a crack commando group.
Yeah, of course, in this bag, yeah, so essentially what they did in those wax packs of non-sports back in the 80s, 90s, I think even some of the ones in the 2000s had this, their insert was a sticker card. So you would get like 10 cards, for example, one sticker and a piece of gum, of course.
Yep.
And the sticker card, so essentially it's on a card back, same size, and you could just peel it off and then you'd have a sticker. Now, there were some sets that were like totally stickers, like the Pac-Man set was all stickers, things like that. But yeah, there's B.A. Baracus. So it kind of looks like a little file folder, and you peel it off, and you've got this like file folder shaped sticker you can stick on stuff. That's what we mean by it when we say sticker cards. Is our layout weird? Let me try this. That's better. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you had it zoomed in there for a while.
Well, again, I'm
on my good side.
I'm going from my phone to my computer back to my phone, and they function very differently. So yeah, I'm just getting back into the groove here. Value Box Digger has joined us, interested in hearing how you promote fixed or dynamic and at what % you use. Seems eBay has become a pay-to-play platform. Yeah, for sure. eBay wants their cut. I do dynamic and I let it ride. And I price accordingly. All my cards are priced up and that allows for that promotion to be paid. The other thing is I get some money off on my final value fee because I'm a top-rated seller who does one-day shipping policy. So I get 10% of my final value fees back. So not the promotion fee, but the final value fee, which you don't have a choice in paying. That one you pay whenever you get a sale. And so I figure that helps kind of offset that promotion charge. If you try to sell your cards and don't promote, you are not going to get the sales. That's just how it is. Now, that being said, we kind of talked about this last week. We've talked about it a few times. But when I put new listings out, I don't promote right away. I let them ride for a good week or two, and then I will add the promotion on top of that. And that's paid off big time for me in a lot of sales. I've had a lot where I will, the card will sell within a day or so, and I don't pay anything. I just pay that final value fee. So those are awesome because you just listed it. You know right where it is because you just did it. You pack it and you ship it, and you don't pay any promotional fees. A lot of times on those cards too, I'm willing to accept a little bit better offer, a little bit lower offer because I know I don't have the promotion cost, and it's a quick flip. My margins are there, and I don't have any time invested in the card other than to list it, of course. I feel like keeping up with sports helps me stay informed on cards, but I really prefer to not do that and buy what I think is good, honestly. I don't watch any sports, so I'll watch a few highlights here and there. I'll watch some news stories. I'll watch for injuries or, hey, this quarterback's going to be playing now. By the way, is every starting quarterback in the NFL out?
Yeah, so Justin Herbert went out now.
Yeah, Herbert's out, Burrow's out, Daniel Jones is out, Mac Jones is out. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is out. I don't know. There's a ton of them. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Some of them it's just because they suck, but still.
The good news is that for the money he's making, Shohei Ohtani is going to start playing quarterback also.
Well, hey. For the money he makes 11 years from now, yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting structure to that contract.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I first saw the news in $700 million, I'm like, that can't be right. There's no way you'd be bankrupt. Money.
Yeah,
you'd be bankrupt. I read a stat somewhere, or read I guess a stat somewhere that said that if you make $50,000 a year salary, you'd have to work for like 17,000 years to equal his contract.
Yeah,
that's insanity. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, very, very, very back end heavy. So they're gonna have to deal with it eventually, but they're gonna try to win now. And he's like, "I'll give up my money if you try to win. Spend the money now on these other guys, and let's win some pennants, and then we'll worry about getting my check later." So
right,
it's kind of that Tom Brady effect. Tom Brady did that, and it really worked for him. Granted, his wife makes like $500 million a year or something, but that probably helps. But at the time, he's single now. Do either of y'all or anyone in the chat have preference on graded card slabs, Ultra Pro, BCW, other graded card slabs? I don't do a lot with graded cards, so no. Ultra Pro, BCW, or other. I don't know if you're talking about the supplies for graded slabs or just supplies in general. I actually like BCW products better. Other than maybe I might like the Ultra Pro sleeves more. It's kind of BCW for a while because they're a little less slick.
Yeah.
But now I kind of like. I feel like the Ultra Pros move better in my hand when I'm sorting. So
Ultra Pro all the way.
So. Yeah, I mean, I like the is it gold standard or whatever for the for these things for the card savers. Yeah. I like this is their brand for card savers. I like those, but honestly, I don't really care if I have an Ultra Pro holder. I'll stick it in an Ultra Pro. It doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah,
and I buy almost all my shipping supplies are used, so I get some of everything for the most part. Oh, Tom's clarified. He said both. Yeah, I don't.
I don't know. I don't have. Yeah, I guess other people are going to have to respond because I don't have much of a preference on graded card slabs. I sell them here or there if I buy them at a good deal, but I don't do a bunch of grading. I just find it's, as a low end person, it doesn't make a lot of sense to really look into slabs. Now, that being said, I know I sell a lot of cards to buyers who are going to slab. For example, I had a sale 2 days ago. It was 10 Josh Allen Donruss base cards at $1.99 a piece, which is, that's more than somebody should pay for a quantity of 10 of those cards. But those are super easy cards to grade. So I'm guessing they were paying the $2 a head to get the cards. They'll pay the, I don't know, $10 or whatever the deal is right now to grade at PSA. And if they get tens, which there's good odds to that with that card, they'll probably get 25 or $30 a piece. So that's the only thing I can think of. Thoughts on cards non-sport that aren't entertainment? Example, GPK and MetaZoo. Yeah, Garbage Pail Kids, for sure. I actually just had another Garbage Pail Kids sale this week. I just started listing some of that stuff. I collect them, so I kind of didn't do much with the sales side, but I was buying the Bookworms mega boxes for like $10 at Walmart. So I have like stacks of Bookworms, inserts and parallels and stuff like that. Actually, right here. Here's a bunch of the booger ones. The green parallels are the booger ones. Got a bunch of those. I got a list. So yeah, Garbage Pail Kids, definitely, especially the old stuff, is a no-brainer. The newer stuff, I don't have a ton of success moving, but like I said, I haven't listed a ton of it yet either. MetaZoo, haven't touched it. I heard good things about it when it came out, but I haven't done anything with it. But I do like non-sports cards that are in sports cards, if that makes sense. So I like it when it's like Allen and Ginter, when they have like a music artist. I love Skybox Metal, which has like models in it and cheerleaders and stuff like that. Love that stuff all day long. Music artists in like American Pie sets and things like that. Those are mostly sports focused, but there's a lot of other types of non-sport cards included in it. But yeah, as far as like unique characters, Pokemon, GPK, MetaZoo, those kinds of things, Digimon, I don't do a whole lot of that, but Garbage Pail Kids would be probably the exception.
Yeah. I know my non-sport are mostly entertainment related, WWE, music, movies, Marvel. One of the exceptions, and we talked about these recently, is this history set I got. So I find history fascinating. So I thought, oh, that ties right into some of my other interests. Let me see if some of those can move, and those come with some nice parallels and stuff too. So
yeah, I do the same thing. I got this really cool Declaration of Independence Chrome card.
Yeah.
At the National. That's kind of cool. It's got the whole Declaration of Independence as a puzzle on the back. I buy stuff like that. I got, I don't know if that's politics. I don't know if you consider that entertainment. But here's an American Pie. I was just talking about this. Here's Abraham Lincoln. Here's some musicians that are in American Pie. So you got DJ Cool. I got DJ Jazzy Jeff. These are really cool. These purple or these blue parallels really pop. I really like those. Biz Marquee.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, anything really. I'll buy anything that's on a card if I feel like there's going to be some kind of market for it and I get it for the right price.
Yeah, another kind of historical set. I've sold some cards out of this already. Are these Pacific World War II cards? I've got some repeat buyers that come back for those.
I sold the Saddam Hussein rookie that I bought out of the quarter box in Madison for $20 out of the Desert Storm top set. So yeah, there's definitely, we're not against buying those as a non-sport option as well.
A set I haven't listed yet that I'm excited to get out there soon is a muscle car set. I think there's a a fan group out there that'll be interested in those as a non-sport set.
Yeah, I got a few Harley cards. I haven't listed those either. I don't know. We'll see. It's way down on my priority list. I have like really good stuff to list yet. And I still have stacks of Sports Illustrated for Kids stuff to list, and a bunch of Ren and Stimpy puzzle cards and stickers and stuff like that. So yeah, non-sport is high on my list right now. I'm listing a lot of that stuff. Check this out. I got one of these yesterday. You know what this is?
Buddies? I haven't seen those before.
So yeah, so check this out. So they come blind boxed in your adult Happy Meal. I'm gonna crack the box open here. I already opened this, so I know which one it is. So here's your little McNugget figure. They each come individually wrapped in this tissue. So I've got this little construction worker guy, right? And all the nuggets come apart, so you can put different clothing on them and different
it's like a little Mr. Potato Head
pieces here. Pieces. Right. But you know what else it comes with?
Fries.
A trading card.
Look at that.
Uh-huh.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah. So trading cards, they're a thing. People, these companies are aware that they matter because they simply could have. It's just got some information on this particular McNugget buddy. They didn't have to include a trading card. They could have just printed it on a box, whatever. But they included a trading card because there's markets for trading cards. So, yeah, non-sport is boom, boom, boom for sure. I gotta get this back in the box. All right, let me get back to our full screen here and get Charlie back in vision. There he is. We missed you, buddy. Where's Stu? I haven't seen Stu in a while. Is he hanging around?
Stu is thinking about Christmas Day.
Terrifying, isn't it? It's like 2 weeks away. I don't know. I ain't ready.
It is. I've even got my decorations out tonight. I'm in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, my daughter was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? For the week after Christmas when you're off?" I'm like, "That's not how this works."
Yeah, not really.
I don't get a day off ever again. I'll have some time off, but not a day off.
What are you doing?
I gotta get some water. I wasn't prepared for that part of the show ahead of time.
You were falling into a rabbit goat hole or something.
Kind of a hole I can't get out of. Let's see. Tom is responding to Scott, says, I think staying up helps with who to sell when for sure, but it does tempt me to buy at peaks, which isn't ideal. So here's my theory on that. If you follow the sport, you're more likely to get the FOMO and try to buy the player that's hot, and that's the worst idea, in my opinion, because you're buying them at the peak. What you should be buying right now is Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers and those guys, not Brock Purdy, who's dominant, by the way. Charlie.
Dominant. Listen to you and that Brock Purdy train.
And, some of those guys that are, CJ Stroud, I wouldn't be buying that right now. So I think not watching actually helps. I'm not as bought in. I don't have the hype. And to be honest with you, a lot of the cards that I buy to resell are retired players. What I sold I sold a ton of cards this past week. It was like 700 cards in the last 5 or 6 days. The coupon helped, of course, but I sold a ton of Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Drew Brees, Troy Aikman, Favre, of course, Brady, Lawrence Taylor, some Randall Cunningham, a couple Warren Moons. Those are the guys that do the best for me. I sold some Joe Burrow. I sold a Jamar Chase insert. Some of the modern guys. But I don't know. I just do much better. Dan Marino, those guys. that stuff sells so much better for me, and I don't have to care how their team does.
The classics.
They're set in stone. Pokemon Brothers bounced in here. Thank you, Rex, for subscribing to the channel. Was that you, Charlie, that did that, or was that one of your sons?
I think that is Creed. He probably logged on when he went.
Oh, geez, that's funny. I didn't know if you had access to their channel login or not.
I don't think I do.
Because I have to manage Luna's because she's not old enough to get an email yet.
Yeah.
So yes, I do have 2 YouTube channels, I guess, technically.
Are you sure you don't have more than that, Adam?
They're just 2, buddy. That's enough. And I really only work on this one. So Tom says I do try to keep up with sports and nightly events to capitalize on big games or performance since in mid-end. I just list the cards. If they have a good performance and stuff sells, I'll be like, great. It helped itself. Right now, I've been selling a lot of LeBron. LeBron is not a good mover for me, but in the last probably week or 2, sold a ton of it. So I don't know if he's got something good going on, or people feel like he's at the end of his career, or Bronny's coming in. So, you got another James on the mind. I don't know what it is, but I list them. When they sell, they sell. Remember that first year optic and that Donruss card I bought out of that $1 box at the Legacy show I showed you that have Kobe, like Kobe's on the floor underneath him when he's dunking?
Yeah.
I sold all 3 of those today.
Nice.
All in one day. Yeah. 2 of them to one guy, and another guy bought the other Donruss card. So, and I got $20 for the optic, 10 for each of the Donruss. So not bad. 10 likes, 11 likes.
Oh, that was a while ago. You're still at 14.
I must be way. Let's just forward a bit, otherwise we're going to get off track here. Let's see. All right, on-field performance and eBay sales have a loose correlation, but it's very loose. No reason Purdy should outsell Stroud. I'll tell you why Purdy outsells Stroud. Not because of his own personal or his individual
Here we go.
abilities. It's because he's on the best team in the league with the greatest shot to win the Super Bowl. That's all that matters in the end. At the end of the season, when he hoists the trophy and Stroud's at home on his couch, that's where the money you get paid off. So, it's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. Stroud's been picking up sales for me. I don't have a lot of Purdy though. I did not buy into the Purdy early on like Adam did. Adam got in on Purdy before it blew up, which is ideal.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. I thought this is a fluke, Mr. Irrelevant. So I called that one wrong. You got that one right, Adam. But I do have a lot of Stroud, and that's been picking up lately. So I think at some point it might even out.
Yeah, I've definitely sold some Stroud too. But, neither of those guys have any accomplishments, right? So you're buying based on what they could potentially do, right? It's still prospecting, even though they are starting quarterbacks and getting wins and all that. So what I do if I'm buying that type of card, which I don't buy a lot of, that's why I don't buy a lot of baseball, I have to go, what kind of accolades is this player going to end up with in the end? Who has the best shot to win MVPs and Super Bowls and have a lot of wins and get a lot of primetime games and so on? And to me, that's Purdy over Stroud at this point. The team is just better. Scott says I found a really good Juan Soto card that sold a day after the trade. Was just timing luck. Exactly. That's what I was talking about. I just list my cards, and then, when Juan Soto gets traded, great. He sells a bunch of Juan Soto cards. I'm not going to run out and buy Juan Soto cards because he's getting traded or because he got traded. I don't really do that. Now, that being said, I am buying Ohtani right now, but I'm buying Ohtani because he's a dominant player, and when he comes back to the league, I guess the trade helps to some degree, but because he hasn't been playing for a while, his cards went way down. So this is the time. If you're going to buy Ohtani, this would be the time to do it. Maybe not right now. like today after the last couple days, but I have been buying Ohtani a few weeks prior here. And I did that last year and I made a ton of money on Ohtani stuff. Someone must have unliked because it was at like 15.
Oh no.
No. Maybe I bet it was Stuart.
It might have been Stuart. Dang it, Stuart.
Stuart unliked us. Not cool. Creed says good night. Good night, Creed. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you Saturday. And Tom says thanks as well. Lakers just won the in-season tournament. My new favorite thing to collect now is vintage unopened Nonsport. Okay, so that makes some sense. So that's probably why the LeBrons are selling. See, I told you I don't follow sports. But I have LeBrons. I buy them when they're a good deal, and I list them, and they'll sell when it's and they pop into people's heads. It's fine. Favorite thing is to collect vintage unopened Nonsport. Now you're talking. That's what I collect as well. Try to get some of those Marvel sticker packs. So all the cards are stickers in it. I think you get 6 or 7 or something like that from like 1977 or 1978. If you can find one of those at a decent deal, buy that because those are getting ridiculously hard to find. Luckily, I got mine back when I first started doing non-sport packs. I just tripped on one online. I think I paid like $5 or $6 for it, but I've seen them going for quite a bit more now, like $20, $25 a pack. And I believe they're the first Marvel cards ever released. So I think that's people have caught on to it. Essentially, that's happened. Is there a way to avoid another final value fee on multiple card sale? No. They charge you based on each item that sells. There's no way to get out of it. When you go to list a card, I know no one actually does this, but when you go to list a card, read what it actually says you're agreeing to. And it says you will be charged a final value fee when this item sells. And that's per item. So now, like I said, what I do is I meet the requirements for a what is it called? Preferred seller. I lost my train on that.
Top seller plus.
Top seller plus. When you can reach and maintain top seller plus, you will get some of that final value fee back. So that's your best play on that. Otherwise, you have to pay the fee. You don't get a choice. Average Dave's Cards. If you want to be a part of the peak, I'll buy teammates. For example, I've been buying Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman to get a part of Ohtani. It's not a bad play. I like that idea, especially if those teams are going to be successful based on that trade. And I think the Lakers. I think we're just talking about the Lakers. I think the Dodgers are going to have a pretty darn good team with Ohtani added in there. I think that's a boost. Yeah, so we'll see. Still there, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello?
Hello? Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, I did. MD says Brock Purdy is no better than Alex Smith. Don't lie to yourself. That's fine. I think he's going to win championships. And he has that Mr. Irrelevant tag, which really helps him. Everybody likes the underdog. Nick Foles doesn't sell anymore. Yeah, well, Nick Foles is Nick Foles. Nick Foles was sort of an accidental Super Bowl victory. He wasn't really... I don't think anybody thinks of, when they think of the Eagles, they think of Nick Foles. And I think people think about Brock Purdy with the 49ers.
That's an opinion.
Yeah. Ran my first coupon. I did a buy one, get the second 20% off. So far, 2 of those sales in 2 days, 10 or so other sales just regular. Yeah, coupons definitely help. Try to, if you do multiple listings, try to do bulk discounts, anything you can do to try to help your buyer buy more than one card. It's going to help you with costs and expenses. Less money is going to go to eBay, shipping, taxes, all that kind of stuff. And helps you move some more inventory. So congratulations. I'm glad it's working out for you. Tom says he's looking for QBs for August or next season. Okay, that makes sense. Which QBs are you looking at? I want to know what you're looking at. You guys don't dabble buying cheap slabs? No, because I don't like the shipping on it. Sucks. I can't ship it for the standard envelope, so I have to have bigger margins in order to pay the $4 to ship it. So if you can sell a slab for $5, great, but then you get another $5 in shipping. So you really need $10 on a $5 slab,
which is not that easy.
I'd rather buy a $5 raw card for $1 and pay 63 cents to get it out and still have a profit. It's
a very similar conversation to some of the thicker, really firm relic cards. Like you have to get enough of a margin to cover the escalated shipping costs, because now you got to go ground advantage for some of those. And the market's really tough to find in eBay. Like some of those, you're better off trying to sell them in person.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they'd be great to like put on our table at the show or something, but I do have a box of cheap slabs. I forgot to bring it at the last show, so I'll try to remember this time, because I do have customers who ask for them at the shows. But that's really the only way I would sell them. So, and I don't do a lot of shows. That's not the way I run my business. It's mostly online. So yeah, I just don't buy a lot of slabs. Most of the ones I sell are stuff that I had bought for my PC that I've upgraded to better grades or things like that. Or I bought just to have cheap duplicates that I could resell. But I don't seek them out, really. MI3 Card says if people add cards to their cart and then buy them, it will only charge you the 30-cent listing fee one time, regardless of how many cards were in the order. You're correct and incorrect. The 30-cent fee is the transaction fee. That's the fee for completing the money part of the transaction. The poster earlier, I can't remember who posted it, but they were talking about the final value fee. So you're charged two fees when you sell a card. You're charged the final value fee and 30 cents for processing the payment. So yes, it's only 30 cents for the multiple cards, right. And that's why we stress greatly on this show, we want multiple card sales, because you only pay the 30-cent fee, but you pay a final value fee on every single card you sell. There's no way out of it. Scott says he saw something interesting when buying a card on eBay as a gift. There was a 10-day, I think, before leaving a neutral or negative feedback. I thought that's nice from a seller perspective. That, yeah, probably because they have to confirm that the card was received and you're having it sent to somebody else's address, I'm guessing, sending it as a gift option. That's the only thing I can think of. So eBay wants to give enough time in order for that to be completed before any feedback would be left. Anthony Richardson. Ooh, I got a really nice Anthony Richardson auto, so I'm hoping he comes back strong next year.
Wild
Bryce
card,
Young,
right?
if they're cheap. Yep, wild card. Bryce Young, if they're cheap. Got a couple decent Bryce Young cards, too. I'd be fine with that. Any other 2021 guys cheap enough, I'll grab. Yeah, there's
Will Levis. That might be a good one.
There's going to be some, there's definitely some buying opportunities out there. Tom says he has low-end slabs, but selling a $10 slab for $1 profit isn't exactly exciting. Helps keeps sales coming in. Yeah, based on what you sell, that makes some sense. I get it. For what I sell and Charlie sells, $10 slabs don't really do anything for us, with free shipping besides. Let's see. Let's skip ahead a little bit. We're getting. DGen Terp has joined us. Good evening, all. Good evening to you as well. Please consider giving us a like. I'm holding back some valuable Star Wars cards selling information until we hit 20 likes. So we gotta see
Making
if we
us
can
earn
get
it.
there. Making you earn it. That's right. I gotta make these videos. You can at least give it a like. Come on. Let's see. I try to do mostly slabs with some raw, with majority being 20 to 100 bucks. I do list some under 20 with standard envelope to keep driving sales, like you said. Yeah, it's your business model works. It's great. It's just not mine. Yeah, I really don't want to deal with the slabs. Just even with how many cards I have, just trying to add slabs into it and keep the inventory and stuff, it'd be kind of a pain. I just need to bite the bullet and pay for a store subscription already. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't done that yet.
What you waiting on?
These cards I have for $6 and $7 get $2 offers is kind of nauseating, but I get a tip that you should always counter even if lowball because it pushes up the listing. I counter on every single one. What if they're going to buy it? Sometimes they just come in and they're trying to test you. They just want money off the asking price. So let's say cards listed at 7 and they offer you 2 and you come back at 5.5 or 6. There's good odds they'll take it. I get that all the time. They still feel like they got money off the card. Scott says 21 likes, spill the Star Wars tip. Okay, so I don't know, many of you might already know this, but so the best Star Wars cards to buy, and you can tend to get them for a pretty decent deal because they're unassuming. But the 1977 Series 5 orange Star Wars cards are the best cards to buy and resell. So they did, I think that was the last series they made in 1977. So they had already pretty much covered everything in the first 4 series as far as like shots from the film and the characters and all that. So what they did in Series 5 is most of the cards are like the making of type cards, right? So you have a card with Alec Guinness and George Lucas, and it's Alec Guinness's birthday, so he's giving him a piece of cake. There's a card where you see, can't think of his name right now, Brian something or other, the guy who designed the Greedo mask. You can see him, the actor is sitting there with the Greedo head on, and Brian's like painting it. There's, yeah, I think Steven Spielberg is in a shot with a camera. There's a lot of special effects shots, so you can see like the Falcon running along a string and it's being blown up by the special effects crew. Chewbacca getting his hair combed. There's just tons of those behind the scenes cards. A lot of those aren't even photos that are in like books and things like that. They were just used for the cards. And that film series is one that has a huge, huge following for the process of how the film was made. It was game changing at its time. Some say that movie was the most pivotal thing in science fiction film history, just because of what they did with it, the effects that were added, and the shots, and all that kind of stuff, the creativity. So those cards are the cards that you want to flip for the most part. You get really good resale value out of them. You can get like $8 to $10 for a lot of those cards. And if you can get a good lot of them for, I think there's like 60 or 80 cards in the set. If you can get a set for $50 or something, less than $1 a card, you'll do very, very well. There's also kind of like baseball, there's also an O-Pee-Chee version of Star Wars cards, and you can get those much, much cheaper. They have English and French on the front of the cards. That's how you'll know they're O-Pee-Chee. But I've bought those because you can get them much cheaper. They don't sell quite as well. Most of the collectors here want the American versions, but because you can get them cheap enough, you'll make it up with being able to ask a little bit less for the card than the American version, English version, whatever you want to call it. So that's my Star Wars tip. Now everybody's gonna be out looking for orange Star Wars cards. The other thing is because they were Series 5, they're not as beat up. Like it's easier to find ones that are in good condition and stuff. A lot of the first series ones, they were kids, of course. So it was 1977, so they're bent, they're beat up. The card stock they used wasn't very good. But a lot of those orange cards sat in packs a lot longer. Didn't really get handled. They kind of got, you know, when we collected that stuff as kids, it was because we didn't have a copy of the movie to watch whenever we wanted. Couldn't just stream on Disney Plus Star Wars.
Right.
You had to go back to the theater. And then in the 80s we got VHS and all that. When we were kids and we wanted to remember that movie or continue to experiencing that movie, that's why we had action figures so we could recreate the scenes. So most of the kids, when they got the cards, they wanted cards that were shots of, Princess Leia and Luke swinging over the cavern, or, TIE fighters shooting and things like that. They didn't want behind the scenes cards. These cards were made for kids. So it's, things were different then. And that's why I think those cards are so important. And a lot of us kids who bought the cards, we bought the blue series and the red series. We didn't touch the orange cards. Well, guess what we want now? Now we want the behind the scenes cards that we don't have. So it's just really helped with the prices.
You wanted the Princess Leia and Jabba's palace in the metal bikini.
That is not from the original Star Wars movie, Charlie.
Well, no, but that's the card you were after.
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of those cards. That's the other kind of Star Wars tip. The Return of the Jedi cards are really cheap, and you don't think there's good value in them. There's a bunch of cards in there that are kind of awesome. For example, Salacious Crumb. Do you know who Salacious Crumb is?
Absolutely.
His rookie card is in that set. I got a stack of those cards for free when I was at the Wisconsin Dells card show, which they only ever had once. It's my favorite card show I'd ever been to, by the way. But I bought a box of it was sports cards mainly, but it was one of those like fill a box thing or whatever. So I filled this box, and as I was going to pay, somebody came up to that table and had this stack of Return of the Jedi cards, really good shape and everything. They must have walked away to show somebody to see if they were interested, came back, and they're like, oh, they weren't interested in them. And so I'm getting ready to pay for my full box, and I said, can I have those? Will you throw those in with the box? And the lady's like, yeah, sure. Because again, non-sport, they're not worth anything, right? Anyway, so that's my story on how I obtained those. And but there was a Salacious Crumb rookie in there. Guess how much I sold that for this past week?
Oh, $5.99.
$14.99. So those sets are great. Empire Strikes Back, there's like 6 or 7 different versions of Boba Fett cards in there. Well, it's the first ever made cards of Boba Fett. There's a Boba Fett sticker in it. Those do very, very well. You can get $20 for a first time Boba Fett card. So yeah, Star Wars can do very, very well. Still have Vader from that TCG, can be real good money, I believe. Yeah, don't do any of the TCG cards. I avoid those like the plague. That's just not my thing. But I'm sure some of those do well. There's 100 different ways to make money with cards. Yeah, there's more than 100 different ways. You're correct. It's a great market. I'm learning, Average Dave. Everything here is super helpful. Appreciate that. Thanks for everybody's learning, sharing. I learn every day. I've been doing this for a long time, and I still learn every day. And thanks for the likes, everybody. I appreciate it. I'm glad I was able to share my little nugget of knowledge. Hopefully that helps some of you out that were looking into Star Wars cards. And yes, Tom, George Lucas, and Spielberg is in them. He's going to go get some. ILM drove innovation in movies, video games, and media for a long time. I don't know if I've ever shared this, but I've been to Lucasfilm. Did I ever tell you that, Charlie?
Yeah.
I went there. I worked on a TV show. I had done some charity work. Was the first time I had been out there, but I got to see some of the model building areas. I've been to Skywalker Ranch, which is closed to the public, but I was there doing an event. The Mythbusters people were there. Tori and
Adam.
Yeah, and Grant Imahara. Grant, rest in peace. Unfortunately, he's deceased now. but yeah, that was pretty cool. We did an event there with them. But anyway, yeah, it's still very, very innovative. The stop motion stuff that they do and Skywalker sound. I mean, they're relevant as relevant today as they were in 1977, which is crazy for an industry like that has changed so much. They're still huge players. Unfortunately, they sold out to Disney. I don't blame George Lucas. Somebody waves $2 billion in your face, you just kind of go, I don't think I'm ever going to make more than that, no matter what I do with this. I've kind of done what I wanted to do with it. But, anyway, they're still there and still making stuff. Cooters, Charlie, Stu, and Chat. I don't know if you saw on my banner tonight, I have my
I noticed that.
My business name, and then I've got Adam, a.k.a. Cooter. I did that just for you, Urethra. So thanks for joining us. You're a little late to the party tonight, but we'll accept that. You get a free pass. And since she wasn't here earlier, I'm using your baggy idea, and it's paying off so far. I haven't sold a ton of cards out of there. I've only got I've got maybe 8 or 10 different bags here that I've put together. I've sold a couple, but not a ton. But that's how I think I'm going to do it going forward. I don't know if I'm going to go back and redo inventory I already got, where I've got it placed. But as I sell stuff down, new listings, I'm going to bag. I'm going to see how it goes.
So are you mixing all card types in those packs too? Non-sport, sport, everything together?
Yep. So the only thing, now most of them are non-sport because that's just what I happen to be listing the last few days. But the only thing I'm not going to do is if I have a card that's already listed, so I'm just updating the quantity, I'm not going to keep one in here and one in the drawer. I'll put them together. So I had some Stranger Things. I have this Jacqueline Kennedy. Those are cards I already have some of.
Is that a Mind Flayer card?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. The only other thing I'm not going to put in the bags is specific players that I have spots in the drawer for, because I already have them named. I don't have that many cards in most cases for those. So it's actually still going to be quicker for me to just go to the drawer and grab that player name.
Okay.
But that might change over time too as I bag more. We'll see. I think you were going to contemplate doing it as well, right?
Yeah, I am. I want to do it. I'm just haven't pulled the trigger on a cutover point and really committed myself to it yet. But I find it interesting, and I think before too long I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah, at least do a couple bags and see if it works or not for you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a million different ways to do it. I've seen people just do it with tabs. They don't want to open a bag and have to pull stuff out, so they just have a tab with a date on it, and then they, in the next section they put, okay, this is what I listed this day, and just put them in a box or a drawer that way, and still keep them loose. I like the bag because I think it keeps the cards together nice. Keeps you from dropping them or getting them any kind of damaged. As I flip through, I just simply have to find the actual bag that it's in and pull that bag and search through that versus still pulling the tab and, thumbing through the cards that way. Kind of gives you an easier way to pull them out.
Right.
So I like it. I thought it was a really good idea. And I liked your dating idea. I can't think of a better way to number them. Nothing's gonna be more sequential than going by date. So
right.
The only time, like I said, the only challenge is that if you have more than one bag for a single date, you got to find a way to deal with that. I would make
it alphanumeric myself. I would do 12,
A, B, C.
12 13, 23A, 12, 13, 23B.
Sure. Yeah, and as long as you put it in your SKU correctly when you list, you're not going to have a problem with it. That's the biggest catch, and what you have to kind of retrain yourself to get used to is adding that SKU in there to make sure that you know what bag you're going to. Scott wants to know how many international sales we get. I have some hockey slabs to Canada, but I think the shipping is rough for the buyer. What I like is my responsibility ends once it gets to the domestic hub. Correct. I actually had an international sale where the buyer did not end up receiving the card. And I got a nice email from eBay that said, hey, we're going to take care of this. Nothing for you to worry about. Just wanted to let you know your customer didn't get the card, and they covered it. So that is one nice thing about it. I get maybe 4 or 5 a month. I don't get a ton. Usually it's soccer cards. I understand with hockey that would kind of make sense that you'd have more international sales. I don't really do the slabs, so yeah. But the shipping is expensive. It's just flat out expensive to ship internationally these days. I have had customers internationally message me and say, "Hey, I'm looking at 4 of these different cards, but they want to charge me shipping on each card. And is there anything we can do?" So what I'll do is I'll take those 4 cards and make a special listing just for that buyer, and let them buy, and then they just pay the 1 international shipping fee. So I do that for raw. I don't know if that would help at all with slabs, but maybe if you could give them some sort of a discount, if they're buying multiple slabs, maybe that would help with the shipping and help your international sales. I'm not sure. Card Vibe says he has a full box of Series 1 and I'm grading 15 packs as we speak. I assume he's referring to Star Wars. Yeah. Series 1 box is pretty expensive, so that's amazing that you have a full box. And grading packs that's a whole other challenge level. So hopefully you do well on them. I think grading packs from Series 1 would be the way to go. I certainly wouldn't open any of them. By the way, those came with a sticker too, I believe. You got 10 cards and a sticker. So true to form that, the Star Wars packs are the sticker cards are there as well. And that's something that you want to have. Is any of the new wax of Nonsport worth it? Likely no. We don't see a lot of new Nonsport wax. I don't really see any cards of movies and stuff out anymore. You see Marvel cards. Yeah, you see Marvel cards. There really isn't merchandise anymore for movies. Like even when a new Disney movie comes out that they're trying to promote, they don't really make toys or do any of that stuff. There just isn't a market for it. Kids don't want that stuff. They want an app. They want to be able to watch the movie streaming it in their bedroom. They want that stuff, but they don't really want the stickers and the cards and that kind of stuff. So that's the one probably future challenge for non-sport cards is there might not be a lot of newer sets. So you have to kind of take them when you can get them. I know they make some turtle stuff here and there when that gets big or there's a new movie out. I think there was some Mutant Mayhem cards when that latest Turtles movie came out.
Okay.
But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more nostalgia sets coming out, and it's a lot of like non-mainstream companies that make them. So it's Inkworks and Rittenhouse and Comic Images, and those are the companies that make that stuff. So you have to kind of search things out. Now, like Game of Thrones isn't from that long ago, and they have trading cards. So there's definitely properties out there that have cards. But have you ever seen a pack of Game of Thrones cards in Target? I haven't.
I find most of it all online,
Yeah.
when you're buying new packs. The only thing I really see for non-sport in the retail stores is like Marvel.
Yeah. So now, Garbage Pail Kids, correct. Yeah. Modern Garbage Pail Kids. Now your question is it worth it? I actually think it's more worth it because you don't see very much of it. I think if you can find some packs of the Barbie movie, I'd buy the shit out of those if they were the right price. Yeah, I think stuff like that is, if you can find it and if it's out there, and you can get it for a good price, I think it's a great investment. But yeah, they don't make very many new sets of stuff. Best laugh ever, Salacious Crumb. I have a little Salacious Crumb puppet that sits on my shoulder. It's got a little magnet that you put under your shirt, and then he sits on your shoulder, and then there's a little like air ball that runs through your sleeve, so you have this little ball in your hand, and when you squeeze it, it makes his head turn and his mouth open, and when you squeeze it hard enough and his mouth opens enough, then he goes, ah, ha, ha, ha. You kind of shake your hand a little bit to make it look like the thing's awesome. I made a video of it. I should post that some one of these days. Made a video of it, like him looking at me on my shoulder, and I look at him, and yeah, it's fun. So yeah, Oasis Crumb is awesome. Did Charlie shave? Did you shave, Charlie?
But my facial hair is always a hot topic on our show.
It is. It is. I have my hair up tonight. Do I need to? Maybe I have to reveal. I did get a haircut. See? Yeah, you can see it's shorter here.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the sides, I got a COVID cut this past Friday. I had a party Saturday night with a bunch of people coming over, so I got my hairs done. Used the cheese machine for the first time. It was a big success.
Oh.
It's a 3-pound bag of cheese, and we went through almost half of it. So we consumed 1.5 pounds of cheese.
That's
but
impressive.
I did hot dogs and chips and stuff, and yeah, so we had some good cheese. Oh, it feels so much better.
Sorry, I missed that. I really wanted to go, but as you know, I had already a plan out of town. I was up in the beautiful Northwoods of Munising, Michigan, getting a speeding ticket on the way up, and I won the Buckhorn Pickaxe Award for the first one passed out on the night.
So it's totally worth it, is what you're saying.
I had a drinking accident, like literally an accident where I didn't notice what I was drinking. So on my way out of town, I stopped and I saw this maple syrup old fashioned mix, and I was like, "That sounds pretty good. I'll bring that with." And it was like a half size kind of bottle. So it had the bitters and the alcohol and a couple other things. I think the intent was you were supposed to mix that with some kind of, Sprite or something like that for a full old fashioned type drink. Well, I just poured it over the rocks in like a coffee tumbler, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good. It's already got like some kind of juice or something in there, So I drank that whole bottle in like 45 minutes, thinking I was drinking pretty light stuff, and then someone grabbed it and they're like, "Well, this is all the alcohol," and I put myself to bed at 9:00.
Did you say it's okay? I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Not my proudest moment. It's been a long time since I did something like that. And then I'm told that all the guys went to the lodge for dinner after I went to sleep, but they asked me if I wanted anything, and I handed somebody a $5 bill and I said, "Bring me a $5 fish plate." And they're like, "What is it, 1978? Where are you going to get a $5 fish plate?"
You get a piece of fish like this, but you get one fish stick.
So I did wake up to a perch dinner, though.
Nice. That's pretty solid. That's good recovery type food.
Yeah.
Some good proteins and a little mercury mixed in with your alcohol. That's always good.
Yep.
So what about the speeding ticket? What the heck were you doing?
It was just incidental. It wasn't intentional. I was 13 minutes away from the lodge. And we finally were off like the US highways where it was 65 and had gotten onto some county highways that were 55.
Sure.
And I had just left a full stop for a turn off to another highway. So I was accelerating, talking to my buddy who's riding with me, never looked down. And the next thing I knew, I passed a canine officer coming the other way. And then I looked down and saw I was doing 70, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if he's going to turn around." Sure enough, I saw him pull over and spin around. I said to my buddy, I'm like, "We might be getting pulled over with these out-of-state plates." And sure enough, he pulled me over. But I was honest with him. He cut me a break. He only gave me a ticket for 5 over. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an easy paycheck for them. That's
$115 for that ticket.
That out of state money. Well, it could have been a lot worse.
I've got to sell a lot of low end cards to make up for that.
You better get out there and get some of them sticker cards.
Right?
That's okay. I had a furnace issue yesterday. My furnace was only like 3 years old. I bought a brand new one not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But something with moisture on a coil, and I don't know. He tried to tell me, but I just don't care. So whatever. But it's $100 just for them to come out. You know, it was
Sure.
like $13 in parts, and it was $100 for, you know.
That's
So,
how it works.
but like I said, could be worse. And now my furnace is. I didn't realize it wasn't working that well, and now that the change has been huge. Like just temperatures, and it runs a lot less, and so we'll
Right.
probably save on gas. And we smelled gas in the house a few days ago, but I have a gas stove, so I'm like, oh, it's I don't know if you run any gas appliances, but every once in a while they have to put a new supply of scent in the gas lines, and so once in a while it'll just be more of an intense smell. So I thought it was just from that. Well, no, it turns out that the gas in my furnace was going up because it was on and it wasn't on, and so on and so forth. So not a good thing. You don't ever want gas in your house anyway. But
see, and I would have assumed that was just from the hot cheese.
No, that's a different kind of gas. That's the methane level in the house. Also very dangerous.
Yes.
MD says the Dell show is held twice. That could be true. I only went to one of them, and it was amazing. I love that show. So I'd love to go back. Yes, Charlie indeed appears babyface. You'll never see that from me, I don't think.
Yeah, it'll just
Not
be temporary.
not babyface. Yeah. Bargain Boxer says, Urethra, did you see my comments on JMac's live stream last night? I don't know who's JMac. I don't know who that is. Grab the Star Wars: The Clone Wars animated series first card set if I see it. It has a Ahsoka Tano rookie in it. My Star Wars tip. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great tip. Anytime you can get cards of those, characters for the first time. So I've told a lot of Star Wars stories. I was very involved in that world, I guess is the best way to put it, for many years. Ashley Eckstein is the one who did the voice for Ahsoka in the films, and no one cared who she was. So she was at this convention I was at, and I was I do a Wampa costume, so I'm on stilts, and I got all this stuff going on. And she was there with her mom. She owns a company called Her Universe. Have you ever heard of that, Charlie?
No, I haven't.
So she started. There's always been clothing, geek clothing for guys, and she wanted to start a girls line of geek clothing. So like comic book characters and stuff like that. Because when we were younger, as you know, it wasn't cool. None of that stuff was cool, right? You were the losers when you read comic books. Anyway, so she was there like promoting some of their products and stuff, and her mom was with her. And her mom came running over to me, and I'm like, I'm on stilts. When people come running at me, it's not a good thing. I get, I could topple pretty easily. So her mom comes over and gives me this big hug, and Ashley comes over and she goes, "Oh, that's my favorite character in my mom's favorite character in Star Wars, and I play Ahsoka Tano." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know who you are." She signed a bunch of stuff for me, and I got this great picture of me giving her like a huge Wampa hug.
Nice.
Me and Ashley Eckstein. So yeah, I make that my profile picture once in a while on Facebook. But yeah, very awesome person. Do you know who she's married to?
No clue.
We'll bring this back around to sports cards. Do you know who David Eckstein is?
Baseball player, yeah.
Yeah, third baseman for the St. Louis Cardinals. So that's her husband.
Very cool.
Yeah. Segue to a segue to a segue. I did that very well. Did you see that?
Protocol.
I mean, I'm basically a content creator, so that's what I have to do. I would never, by the way, I joke about that. I would never call myself a content creator. My goal was to make videos that I could help people with and keep people from getting screwed from some of these other channels that just say, buy this $10 card and you'll sell it for $500. It's that easy.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of us have found out at this point that that's not true anyway, but still. Urethra responded to Bargain Boxer. She hasn't watched it yet. JMac, I don't know who JMac is. I'm going to skip those. Let's see. Scott says he was looking at 1 million Cubs and Burbank's eBay store. Both sell cards cheap and do tons of volume. Lots of ways to do it. I would not want to ship 200 cards a day. What if I get sick? Then you ship them the following day. You just have to deal with it. but yeah, that's basically Bo is the gentleman who does 1 Million Cubs. Him and I've been good friends for a while. I don't have any relationship to Burbanks, but obviously they're huge. They're on the West Coast in the LA area. And that's basically my model too. I sell tons of cards cheap. I have 33,000 listings or so right now. A lot of my cards are $1.50. I think, Charlie, you're pretty much the same model.
Yep.
Less quantity at this point, but maybe eventually as you're building it.
I did enter the 2K club, though.
You did enter the 2K club. That's right. We didn't go over milestones.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Two grand is a big mark. I think the big turning point for me, because people have asked me that, well, when does it really start getting busy? I think when I hit the 5,000 listing mark was when it was like, okay, now I got like 10, 15 cards to ship every day. It was more of a constant. And then when you have 33,000 listings, it's just insanity. So don't do that. But yeah, volume selling, that's what you do when you sell cheap cards. Tom says he finally found the Pokemon Brothers channel. Need to work on making it easier for boomers like me to find it. Took me, an hour? Or like 2 hours. Yeah, YouTube, kind of like eBay, finding a specific seller on eBay is kind of a pain too.
Yeah.
That's why I bought my the dollarbox.shop. That's why I use QR codes on my business cards. Anything you can do to make finding you easier is suggested, of course. Many times I don't really do much with my Instagram, but a lot of times I'll just reshare my thumbnail from my video and a link to it. So I get subscribers and stuff from that because I have followers on my Instagram, and I think that's how some people find my YouTube channel as well. So I have to kind of cross post between things, and it's just the world that we're in. So you have to do it.
Tom, I very much appreciate the effort. I know that'll make my boy's day, and I'm sure it's the first thing I'll hear about when I talk to him tomorrow.
They need to make some videos, though.
I know.
So I don't have any particular milestones. I actually went way down in my listings. I had so many sales that even with all the stuff I listed in the past 2 days, I'm down from where I was last week. But I'm at 9,852 feedbacks. So
nice.
I might hit that 10 grand by the end of the month because I'm getting like 30 to 40 brand new feedback every couple of days. So I don't know, we'll see.
Are there some benefits to certain amounts of feedback?
No.
I remember seeing something about you get a different icon at a certain level or something like that.
You get a colored star next to your the number of achievement, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you.
No.
It used to. That used to be like how you were a power seller. They would give you like a little shooting star, but it really doesn't do anything for you. No.
Okay.
Just the bigger the number, I think the more confidence people have in shopping with you. I think that's ultimately what it really has for value. But yes, when I hit the 10,000 mark, I will get a new star and whatever. I don't know if anybody's going to care. I don't think I'm going to get more. I don't think I'll get more sales because I have 10,000 feedback than if I have 9,000 feedback. You know what I mean? I don't think it generates you any business.
Yeah, I got a turquoise star right now. I'm at 425.
I'm sorry?
Said I got a turquoise star right now on feedback. I'm at 425.
A green star?
Turquoise.
Yeah, mine's like a green color right now, which goes with my dollar box, I guess. Part, but
color coordinated.
But my username is not right. My username is not the dollar box on eBay though.
Right.
It's minis and stuff 2014, so it really doesn't have anything to do with. But you can't really change the username, so whatever. All right. Urethra says when you said cheese machine, I thought you were referring to your haircut. I thought, is that like a Flowbee?
Oh, Flowbee.
No. My haircut. My wife cuts my hair, so it's just a number 2 up the sides and a little trim on the long hair, and that's all I do. Bill wants to know how you were feeling on Sunday. I imagine the fish helped.
It did. It was Saturday morning, and I was responsible for breakfast at the camp. So I was a little worried, but the fact that I was passed out at 9 p.m. meant I had no problem being up at 6:45 in the morning, and I was actually feeling pretty good.
You got plenty of sleep.
Yeah.
Urethra says Charlie wants to know where the dollar menu is. For his fish plate.
Yeah, exactly. I have absolutely no recollection of that conversation. I do remember when they came back and tossed me the fish plate, and I was like, "Oh, that's really nice. You guys were, thinking about me, looking out for me." And then it was the next day that they were like, "Yeah, you told them to get you a $5 fish plate."
$5 fish plate. That's pretty awesome. Did they keep your $5? Because I would have. That's funny.
Yes, absolutely,
nice.
Absolutely.
Nice. And then you owe them 20 for the actual fish plate price.
Yeah. Yep.
Urethra says she was going down she called me Adam. Crazy. She was going down a rabbit goat hole with Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard. Learned he actually left the show for a while due to a facial hair dispute for the character. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. I think I told you the story about how the guy who puppets Salacious Crumb got fired, right?
Yeah.
I think I told you that. Yeah. I love those behind the scene things. That's part about, talking to an actor or producer or any of those types of people is just to hear the stuff that you'd never see,
Right.
Yeah, I have propane and it's an additive that smell and freaks guests out. Yeah, exactly. So it's the same thing with the gas that comes into your house. Urethra wants to know if that's you playing the guitar in our intro.
Well, I think that was for Tom on his
Oh, Tom. Yeah, she's asking Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny because we have a guitar intro too, and yes, it's Charlie wants to claim that he's the one playing the guitar on it, even though we know it's Stuart. So we'll let him have it, I guess.
Playing it, there'd be some slide action in there.
Yeah, it'd be a sitar. Yeah, good luck getting Ashley Eckstein or Rosario Dawson's auto on an Ahsoka card. My cat name is Ahsoka, if that says anything. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff she signed. She didn't even charge me anything. I didn't wait in line or anything. It's crazy how that stuff changes over time. Same thing with Jeremy Bullock. He was at a convention like 20 years ago when I went. One of my first ones I went to. Jeremy Bullock played Boba Fett, and he was sitting at a table all by himself, no one to talk to. So I went and sat with him, and I talked to him for a little while. His wife couldn't be there that day. I don't remember. She was doing something else. He's from England, of course. And nobody was getting signatures or anything, so there was a table right behind me that had a bunch of Star Wars stuff on it. So I went and I just turned around and bought a Boba Fett action figure real quick. And I'm like, hey, would you sign this for me? He didn't even charge me. So, yeah, that's not how it is anymore. Jeremy Bullock has since passed away, unfortunately. But if he was still here and at a convention signing autographs, it'd be like $250 for an autograph. I kid you not. It's crazy. This last Star Wars convention, Ewan McGregor was at it, and his autograph was $400 on an item. That's crazy. Doesn't even include an item. You still got to bring the item to get signed. So yeah, things have really changed. What the other thing that's interesting about Ashley was, with her Universe store, the Geek Girl Clothing, I used to buy a lot of stuff for Brianna on there, my wife on there, of course. And when you would buy stuff, she would include a little signed like card with a pin or the exclusive pin or something like that, and send that in the package.
That's cool.
So again, she doesn't do that anymore. Doesn't have to. Kevin Smith used to do that too, from Clerks.
Yeah.
We'd see him at cons, and if you bought anything at their table, the View Askew Universe was his company. You bought an action figure, a shirt, a DVD of a movie, anything. It was all autographed. It just came autographed. So you'd buy like the $15 DVD, and he would sign it and sell it to you. So that's just crazy stuff to think about as it grows. Tom says, yes, that is me playing guitar. I play the bass. So yes, Tom's profile picture there is him.
Man.
Yeah. So I'm a content reporter. Okay, I'll take that, I guess.
There you go.
And I don't believe your profile picture is actually of you. So we need to know your story there. Let's see. Which side were you, Adam? Light, dark, rebel, empire, gray, bounty hunters guild, just ascendancy. I don't even know what that is. Red Sun Syndicate. Sorry, Rusty, since Disney ruined it all for me. Yeah, I like bad guys. The bounty hunters guild. I do a Greedo costume. But most of I have a stormtrooper, a shadow trooper, reserve pilot, a TIE pilot, a 181st pilot. I got big into the costuming, so I have quite a few. A Wampa, which is, of course, neutral. He's just a monster, animal, creature, whatever you want to call it. What's this about Charlie playing guitar? Haven't you played guitar before on an episode? I thought we had you playing guitar once. Might have been before Urethra started watching us, though.
Yeah, I don't remember if we played on the live. I know I've been playing before in the pre-show when we're talking a little bit.
Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's Charlie playing. I think you wrote the music for the intro too, right? That's your own original piece.
Well, as much as you can take credit for a simple 3-chord progression, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying like you invented notes. I'm just saying like
I played it, I put it together, I decided that was the music. Yes, I did that.
Could you record it and not get sued?
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody owns the rights to the chords, yeah.
Then it's your music. All right, so here we go. I knew this was going to happen. We got Tom on bass, Charlie on guitar, Cooter as an angsty front man with the hair, just need a drummer. Well, I also play drums, I also play trumpet, and I can read music. So I think we could all make it through enough. I would need lots and lots of practice time. I haven't played anything in years, but yeah, we could maybe make a 3-piece set out of that. I made a mistake of buying some auto cards that are not authenticated or anything that get no action, probably due to lots of fakes. You have to be careful too, because if somebody reports that as a fake, you'll get a strike from eBay. And if you get too many of those, they boot you. So I don't list any cards. I have some lots of personally signed cards. And even if I wanted to sell them, there's no way in hell I would sell them on eBay. If you want to sell those, you should bring them to a local show and just let the buyer know, hey, I got this signed in person, or I don't know if this is real. You'd be taking the chance on it. Or like you said, the other thing you can do is get them authenticated. Now, I have a George Lucas autograph. It's a photo, not a card, but it was a gift given to me by someone who I know has access to George Lucas's autograph, but I had it authenticated by JSA anyway. His autograph kind of stinks. It's kind of just a choop, choop, choop. It's like a modern football player's autograph, right? Yeah. A couple of initials and a swoop. I knew for a fact that the autograph the photo was authentic. It's a real photo, not a copy of a photo. So the odds of the autograph being real are more likely when the photograph is real. But yes, JSA authenticated it for me. I have no intentions of selling it. It's framed. It's in my movie theater at my house. I just wanted to have that. I have it mounted behind the frame so I can kind of turn the frame over and show people, yeah, it's an authentic autograph. But yeah, so if you're looking to sell it, I would not sell it unless it's authenticated. Look at all the problems that Chasing Cardboard had with their cards they sold that were not authenticated. And anyway, I don't think you want to get into that issue. What's your take on that, Charlie? We never really talk about autographs, so I'm kind of glad this came up.
Yeah, I don't. Every autograph I have, except for 3, are authenticated. I have one that we're pretty certain is a fake Barry Sanders card, so I just keep that for myself. And then I have a couple in-person autographs I got from wrestlers I've shared on the show before, but those are more in my personal collections. Everything I list is, I buy it authenticated and it's good to go.
I think probably my most valuable autograph, and I got it in person. I did pay something to get it as well. So I know obviously it's real, but I have a Stan Lee autograph. And I definitely think that's worth getting authenticated. I think he is going to be even more important in the future than what we see him now for what he created, the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's for me. I haven't gotten that one authenticated. I'd have to slab it and everything. So I don't know. We'll see maybe someday. Really cool. It's on a 501st Legion card. We made honorary member cards. The 501st Legion is a Star Wars costuming organization. So very unique. It's funny because when you go to get an autograph from an actor now at a con, the lines are so long, they just kind of keep shoving you through. You can't even really talk to them, And so you're kind of going through this assembly line, and you don't even hand the actor the item. You hand it to like one of his guys or his girls, and then they sort of bring it over to him. He signs it, and then you sort of pick it up at the end of the line. But anyway, got my card, and he's like, I don't think I've ever signed one of these before. And I was like, yes, that's what you want, right? Something totally unique. And it is his photograph, and it's got like the little Spider-Man thing in the background, and really cool. So definitely something I want to authenticate. Maybe I'll show off all my signed cards and stuff someday. I had Weird Al signed a bunch of stuff for me. I did a show. I was on stage with Weird Al, super nice dude, and came back, backstage after and met with all of us. Really cool guy. Got some pictures with him, and yeah, gotten to do some pretty cool stuff. Wish I would have grabbed Jeremy Bullock and Dave Prowse pre-passing. Would have saved a ton. Yeah, their autographs are very expensive now. So, I met Dave Prowse a few times. I never had him sign anything for me. He's not like a super personable person. So I just generally avoid people like that. I don't really care if you're in a movie or not. Jeremy Bullock, awesome dude. You can sit and talk to him. Tim Rose. I was at a house party with Tim Rose, who played Salacious Crumb, did the puppeteering stuff, and super nice guy. I'll sign anything for you. One of the most interesting Star Wars people I met was Kenny Baker. You know what Kenny Baker is?
Yeah, R2-D2.
R2-D2. So he was in the lobby of our hotel, because back in the day, you would stay in the hotel with these celebrities. It was no big deal. You'd see them at the bar or whatever. So I go down to the lobby, and here's R2-D2 with these 2 beautiful women sitting next to him. Big smile on his face, and he's like, "We're going out tonight." And I'm like, "I bet you are." So he was super awesome little dude. Rest in peace. He's gone too. So there isn't very many of them left. Carrie Fisher was also awesome. Did a security detail for her at a show. We were stormtroopers and kind of walked her out to her table. Nobody wanted an autograph. Can you believe that? Sat there all day and she barely signed anything. And so we would go, there's always like a curtain area where the celebrity can kind of step away from the table and have like their own space without the public there. And she's so funny because she's so honest, and we go back there. One of us would usually go back there just to make sure, like, if she needed anything or if anybody tried to sneak back there or whatever. And she'd go back there and she'd be like, God, I can't wait until it's over so I can take these fucking shoes off.
Yeah.
She was just awesome. You try to take a picture of her and she'd flip the camera off, and yeah, she was just awesome. Super cool person. Maybe I take over drum duty so Stu can be the singer or screamer. Yeah, it's got to be a metal band.
There you go.
He's got the tongue and everything. Tom says Urethra could be our drummer. I don't know if she can play drums, but I once got behind a drum set, Tom, and I was surprised to see how difficult it was. So,
Gotta be coordinated.
well, not only that, but the trick to drumming is, to some degree, playing piano is like this too. But you have to be able to separate you have to separate duties in your brain, right? I guess guitar is a little bit like that too. But you have to have like this hand doing one thing and this other hand be able to do something independent of that, and then your feet besides. Especially if you're doing a double drum, bass drum. So
Yeah.
that's what you have to create a lot of muscle memory to be able to separate all those things and do them all at the same time. Kind of like remember the old thing where it's pat your head and rub your belly? Like if you're doing this, you're probably not going to be a drummer. Like I have no problems doing this. I can pat my head and rub circles on my belly without issue. A lot of people really struggle to do that kind of thing. Or do the what is it? It's this one in, this one out. A lot of people can't do this either. Yeah. Try it once. Can you do that?
What do you want me to do? In
one points, and the other goes in.
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
Yeah. So anyway. Keeping the bass drum opposite timing or different timing, that upper body is way tougher than anyone thinks. It's fun to bang on drums, but definitely takes practice to learn them. It's also kind of physical. You wouldn't think it would take that much out of you, but I guess it depends on what you're playing. But
yeah,
if you're playing some pretty aggressive, heavy stuff, and you've got a drum set with 7 drums and 8 cymbals, you got a lot going on that you're getting around with.
There's a really cool show on the Drumeo channel, I think it is, where they'll take a famous drummer and they'll
have him play a different song.
Play a different song out of his genre and drop out the drum track and have him create his own. It's amazing. Oh, I love it.
I've watched a ton of those. I watched Neil Peart do one.
Yeah.
And Chad Smith. Chad Smith is hilarious.
Chad Smith. Sometimes I'm like, I wish that was the drum track for that song.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. One of the ones Chad Smith did, I can't remember who the artist was that he was playing. What song it was? Obviously, it was not a Red Hot Chili Peppers song. But anyway,
he did 5 Seconds to Mars.
5 Seconds to Mars. That's what it was. And like he came up with almost the exact drum track. I was like, how did he do that? That's crazy, right on the fly. Where he did some fills and because one of the things that a lot of people don't understand about drumming is there's usually spaces put in there where you just play whatever you want, right?
Right.
It's just to sort of get your move some timing around and add some space because you're just providing the rhythm for the song to keep everything moving.
Yep.
Keep the band together. But yeah, I like those videos too. They're very good. If you haven't seen them before, Charlie and I are both on the same page on this one. Go watch them. They're amazing. Let's see. I'll stick to my power chords, rhythm guitar, and stomp boxes are my lane. Even that was ages ago. Yeah. DJ Terp said he had something. She, I don't know. This person said they had something interesting happen. They had a 3-card cheap lot sell, and it's set to ship to ESU. It was bought but couldn't create a label. So it might be under one of the U.S. territories. So check if it was supposed to be shipped to Puerto Rico or something like that. It won't let you create a label. You have to just put a stamp on it. I had an interesting one today, and I still haven't figured it out. Part of my day tomorrow is going to be a little time spent looking this up. But I had a 10-card sale, and none of the cards were over $20 each. But it wouldn't let me print eBay standard envelope. I had to print a package label. It said, something in your sale was too much or didn't qualify to ship standard envelope, and I can't figure out why that was. I went to each one of the cards and they all look normal, so I don't know. It might have just been an eBay thing. Now, I didn't have a choice. I had to ship it, so I printed the $4 label instead of the 87-cent label, which kind of stinks, but is what it is. I still made good profit on the sale, but it would have been better, obviously, had I been able to just ship for the standard envelope. eBay support told me I needed to top load it all, is why I couldn't ship it ESU, because you can only use 2 top loaders. I said no, ship it in a card saver, and as stated in the description. That doesn't matter. You don't have to put on there if you're shipping in a top loader, you're shipping in a card saver.
Yeah.
The only rules to be able to ship eBay standard envelope is the size of your envelope, so you got to put the right dimensions in. The weight has to be under 3 ounces. The card, it has to be a trading card or listed in the trading card listing area or whatever. Category, thank you. And it has to be under $20. Actually, under $20 and a penny. So it has to be $20 or less. So if you met all those items, you can ship it eBay standard envelope. They do not know what you're packing it in. That's not relevant. Being able to print a label. This whole signing a vintage rookie card is odd to me. It was kind of taboo previously. Now athletes charge a fortune to sign their rookies. So I agree. I don't like it. I think it's a fad created market by some people who are looking for something else to create an investment in the card market while it's down. But I wouldn't do that. I would not take a Tom Brady rookie and have him sign it. I don't think that's a good idea, personally. What do you think, Charlie?
I personally wouldn't, but just more so because that's not the market I'm in and not the kind of thing I collect. Something like that is definitely priced out of what I look for. But I don't have any heartache about having an athlete sign their rookie card. I mean, just the concept in a vacuum, I have no problem with it. I don't like the exorbitant fees to do it sometimes, but if I'm the athlete, I'm like, okay, 90% of the people I'm going to sign for are going to turn and try and make money off of this.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I don't blame the athlete. If they're going to give you more money, you take more money. Like, nobody's that stupid. But yeah, I don't think it's like, I wouldn't start buying these up as like, oh, this is the future. I don't think that's true. I think it's just kind of a fad in the cards right now. Everybody's trying to look for some sort of edge to still be able to get something and flip it, and that's kind of the play right now. I don't really buy autographs. I think it's kind of a weird thing. I'd rather have hack pulled autographs that are authenticated. If I was going to buy autographs, that's what I would buy. I get it. If you want a Tom Brady autograph or a LeBron James autograph, you're probably not going to pull one of those out of a pack. So maybe you're willing to pay the $200 for them to sign your card, but I still think there's better options than a rookie card to have signed, personally. So, but yeah, if it's for you and it's for your collection, yeah, go get whatever you want. I don't care. I don't have a problem with an athlete signing one of their rookie cards. If anything, it takes a mint copy out of circulation, essentially, right? Eventually, after back and forth, eBay paid for the shipping through UPS for the 3 cards. Anyone else ever run into this? No. I'm not sure what's going on there. And Euretha's correct. It's based on weight, dimensions, and price. Exactly. And category. That's important. You have to list it in the trading card category or sports card category, or it's not going to... eBay standard envelope won't even be an option.
Yeah, and we've talked before that it'll take the individual weight and combine it automatically for your group order. So, if one of those cards for whatever reason was 2 ounces and the other 2 were 1, now you're going to be at 4. If you don't catch that and adjust it, it's going to say you can't ship that standard envelope.
Yep. That's
And
correct.
the reality is you're probably shipping something that's under 2 ounces.
Correct. Aretha says you need to have the weight entered beforehand or change it upon label purchase for the option to appear. Correct. I've had that happen before, like especially if I copy a listing from another one, maybe I didn't look at the weight or something like that for whatever reason, and I listed it, and then I go to print a label and it says $3.85 or whatever, and there's no eBay standard option, then yeah, I have to go in and change my dimensions or my weight, and then the option will pop up to do standard envelope.
That's actually a great example I've been meaning to call out. Like, what is the deal with some of these listings that are a single card and they're listed as 3 ounces? Like, why would it be listed at 3 ounces? Every once in a while, I'll grab a listing that sells similar, and it's showing 3 ounces when it was a single card. It makes no sense to me.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's some of that's hard to explain, I guess. It's one of those weird things that shows up.
Like, I don't know if it's how they're shipping it, or they just really had no concept of what a card weighs, so they just threw 3 in there.
Yeah, or they copied it from something else and it had it was a different type of category listing. I don't know. Maybe they were listing some dolls and then they decided to list a card and they were just copying in and didn't change anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hard to say. Urethra says she's had to change from 4 ounce to 3 ounce. Yes, of course. Shipping card savers all the time. We really have an issue. And even though it's close, so far so good. Yeah, that's what we all do. We all use top loads or card savers, so you're fine with that. Did you maybe pick up sell similar of someone else's listings and had it in a different category? Exactly, which was just what we were talking about. If you flip the hair out, you'll have the Harry Dunn look down, man. I don't know who Harry Dunn is. Who's Harry Dunn?
I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
I think of now I'm gonna have to look it up.
I don't know.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna do some research.
Sounds good. Chad Smith played it beat for beat of original. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I hit sell similar, but change everything to fit my dimensions and weight and item. Cool concept. Never heard of that drum show. Yeah, it's awesome. Go watch it. Same, but if similar to my own, I'll do it off of my own because ran into issues with other people listings it in a different category. Yeah, I usually copy off my own too because it copies all my shipping settings and a lot of my fields that I fill, and yeah, so
watch out now. You'll have to check and see if the SKU is something that copies over, if you're going to have to clear that out and reset it.
Yep, exactly. The perfect fill is everything and uses the drums to accentuate a lyric or specific word, sometimes makes such a moment. Yes, I agree. Can also help balance out time changes, right? So you have a time change in a song. Sometimes that can be kind of lumpy to get everybody to move to it. Throw some fill in there and then let the time change come out of that. Yeah, wrong category might be the culprit. That's what I'm thinking it is. And you can combine shipping for cards up to $50 in value with the standard envelope. Oh, maybe that's why I had that problem with the one today. It was 10 cards, but I think it was $53. I forgot that combined it can only go up to 50. I thought it was all cards under $20. Kept you into standard envelope. So now that showed me something that I
kept you out of ground advantage jail.
Right. Well, that's what I said. It was $53 purchase, so I had to pay the $4 to ship it, whatever. But accidentally hit sell similar on a French listing, not realizing it, and it changed the language to French. I was like, what the heck did I do? You got to watch that when you sell those little peachy cards because a lot of those are listed in French. I never thought I might have did that. Thank you for the info. I learned my lesson once on ESEs. Make sure the envelope is under a 1/4 inch thick. Yep. Listing. Every time I went to create a listing, it'd be in French currency and charge shipping and handling from France, probably to do with being PC and IP Addy or something, but luckily figured it out. When I Googled Harry Dunn, a police officer comes up. LOL.
That's what I got too.
I have no idea who Harry Dunn is. I've stopped doing relics and anything bigger than 55 point in ESC just because I've had too many losses on relics and thicker stock. Yeah, you're taking a bit of a chance. You gotta have a good margin in there if you're gonna do it. That's why I always tell Charlie, like, even if they're 50 cents, I don't really want to do it because it might cost me another $1 or $2 to send it.
Yeah.
DGen says, thanks for the help. You all are awesome. Agreed. We have the best chat ever in here. Anytime we are here every Wednesday night, always a good time. Yeah, I think so. These lives are great. Agree. Just went down a rabbit hole on Officer Harry Dunn. It's not a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit goat hole.
Listen.
There's a big difference.
We're fluid.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jeff Daniels plays Harry Dunn in Dumb and Dumber, one of my favorite movies. Oh, I had no idea what his name was. Yeah, I had no idea what his name was. I haven't seen Dumb and Dumber in 20 years or however old that movie is.
That's an old standby. You got to pull it out once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty bird, pretty bird.
Well, I like the movie. Don't get me wrong. I just haven't seen it in a while. So, all right. What do you think, Charlie? Should we call it a night? We're at 11:45.
Ooh, yeah, time flies, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us in the chat. And, don't forget, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, we do this thing. I love having everybody here. The chat being live definitely makes the show what it is. So we appreciate you all. But I think that's it for this time. Make sure you keep listing, get your shipping out done on time. And that's all I got for you. Look at NonSport Cards. If you don't do NonSport Cards, look into it. There might be something there for you.
For sure.
So, peace. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Stuart, say goodnight.